What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. Sorry, I'm just closing up a few things. I had to cancel my processor coming in, which means I have to reorder it later on tonight, which means, well, it just means this sucks. So I'm gonna have to hopefully get a new processor soon. That's okay. It's gonna be on. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome everybody in. She said, "Oh, oh, oh." Everybody, my day's going well today. We're going well. Having some fun up in here. Where is my hair? It's underneath my hat. Well, at least that's where I left it. That's where I left it last time I saw it. It was underneath my hat, but I mean, it could be really anywhere at this point. You guys like the new hat? You guys like the new hat? Well, if you guys like the hat and you guys are hat wearers, just to let you know, my new merch shop just dropped today. My new merch shop just dropped today. And all our separate days. I've had a merch shop for a while. I just started a new one. New one's up as of today, as only like a few hours now. And if you're interested, this hat is on my merch shop, along with another new hat that I just got. Thank you so much. Along with another new hat I just put up on there. There's a whole bunch of new merch on there. It's a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't on my old one. It's really cool. Just saying, that's on there too. All right, y'all. As you guys are coming in, let's get this thing. We're gonna get this thing started, get this thing moving, get this thing going. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. As always, if you support Trump and you'd like to have a conversation, there's two ways you can get a hold of me. One is through the multi-guest request button on TT, and the other is on the phone number that's either above my head or to that direction of me. All right, no, that way, that way. I can never remember that way. I'm not mirrored, so I get confused. It's one of those ways next to me. You can go all that number, and then I'll answer that number, and then we can have a conversation. It's usually how that works. And Vicky, I also gave you like full mod powers with this bot that I now have in there. So you legitimately can do a whole bunch of stuff in there. So all right, I guess it's time for these to come out. Did I not even bring my headphone case? I don't even think I brought my headphone case up. I must have left it downstairs. Oh well. I'm not even that concerned with it right now. I'll get it later. No big deal. The hat's dope, isn't it? The hat's dope. I love the embroidered hat, and it's actually Richardson. It's actually a really nice hat. All right. Well, I'm already seeing some phone calls come in. I'm seeing some people in the guest request box. I'm already seeing some people, some interested parties wanting to chat, which I'm way down for. So Yeah, let's get this thing going. Let's move this thing right along. Let's move this thing right along. Keep everything moving. Cause there'll be lovers and friends. Oh, it's good luck, baby.
Liking Trump is only an excuse for being a pedophile. Fuck you. If you like Trump, fuck you.
All right. Well, that's an interesting first guess. We'll see how it goes from here. Shay, actually, this sweatshirt that I gave away for the giveaway is on there, but it's not going to be on there for long. I put it up there as a limited edition hoodie that is on my merch shop right now, but it's not going to be on there for long. I'm telling you that right now. Maui girl, thank you so much for the 500 jewels. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to open up these phone lines, get this thing going. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, Maui girl. Very, very sweet of you with the sun balloons. Hello, how are you? Hello? All right. Well, sounds like the football game is awesome, but you would have to actually pause that for a second to actually hear what I'm saying. But hey, totally understand. Hello, how are you? Oh, no, not how are you? Just disappearing off the face of the planet. It is always quite weird how you take all the time to call in on a number and then don't show up. It's very strange to me. But that's okay. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hello, how are you? Yeah, you want to turn off the background noise?
Hello?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Awesome. What year are you born?
2006.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Why is that?
Because you're a fucking...
See, I already knew it was coming. My finger was actually halfway on the hang up button before we even started. I could just sense it. And I just had my finger on it, just ready to go. Isn't that impressive? All right, we're gonna keep this thing going. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna move on to the next caller as soon as we get a couple more callers in here. We're having a little slow start, but that's okay. Slow starts happen on these lives. You don't worry. Can't worry about it. Can't stop, won't stop. That's good water though. That's some really good water. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
32.
Awesome. You support Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right, why is that? And he's gone. All right. And gone. This is definitely being turning into an interesting start to this live stream. I'll tell you that much. This is definitely an interesting start. All right, well, we're going to keep this thing moving, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Again, if you guys support Trump, make sure you either hit that multi-guest request button or you call the number that's above my head or to the or next to me. We've been about 10 minutes in. It should be about the time we're starting. All right. What happened? Oh, sorry. Something just happened. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how old are you?
Much older than you. I'm 48.
It's not really much older than me, but I guess it is older than me. Do you support Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Because 90% of the country did. Because we're winning.
Hold on, 90% of the country
Of us
did.
voted and we win every single day. And you guys just won.
Ma'am, I'm really not. I'm here to have a conversation. I'm not here to listen to you crash out. So just let you know, if that's what you continue, I will just drop you. You have no effect on my life. Okay. So what do you mean by 90% of the country voted for him? Because it was like 23%.
No way. He wouldn't have won.
Yes, he would have.
23 to 80?
It wasn't 23 to 80. It's 23 to 21.
All I know is that since he's gotten into office, he's trying to get rid of the corruption with politicians. Now, I'm not. I'm actually more independent. What I don't like is the corruption in D.C. Left, right, center. Don't like immigrants coming in without being vetted,
Yeah,
and
so
and
let's
also
talk
don't
about
like
corruption. Yeah,
child trafficking. There's certain
yeah.
issues,
Let's
and
talk
you have
about.
to pick and choose your issues
Well, I'm pick.
instead
You
of
you just did pick
talking
and
about him
you did just pick
raping
and
someone 30 years ago. Let's stop
ma'am,
that.
ma'am,
Stop.
you just picked the issues, so let's talk about them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going off the issues that you chose. So you want to talk about government corruption, right?
Right?
All right, sure,
I mean,
perfect.
a lot of
So
stuff is
how do
getting
you feel about the fact that
exposed.
Donald Trump hired Elon Musk, and Elon Musk, the first thing he did as a member of Doge was to get rid of USAID, who was actually investigating
Loved
him.
it.
Yes,
Loved it.
ma'am, I'm going to need you to let me finish my sentence before you respond. Okay?
Okay.
It's called listening to comprehend, not listening to respond. Okay? Awesome. So he got rid of USAID, and the reason why Elon Musk got rid of USAID is because USAID was investigating him for fraud. So literally, he put someone in that was able to get rid of somebody that was investigating someone for government fraud. So literally, the opposite of that.
For Trump with fraud? He wasn't
No, for
even.
Elon Musk with fraud. You said the government fraud.
Oh.
We could talk about Donald Trump for fraud. Donald Trump's been found freaking liable for fraud many, many times. I mean, hell, he has 34 felony convictions for fraud. I'm talking about
That's
specifically
all been
within this term.
overturned.
No, it
That's
has
all been
not.
overturned.
He is still very much a felon and still very much has 34 felony counts. And it's
He put his picture up on the
definitely for
wall when he
fraud.
got that into the White House. He's a badass.
Yeah. He put his picture up, and that picture is the same picture as someone who's convicted of fraud. So, yeah.
All I know is that our country seems to be doing okay, and I never the whole
What do you
government
mean by
world.
okay?
We're winning, and
How
left,
are we
right, and
winning?
center with everything.
No, why don't you give me some specific examples?
Well, I don't know. My gas is going down. I hear about everything. There's all this peace going on all over the world. I look at
There's all
England,
this
London.
peace going on. What are you talking about? There's peace going on. There was just a war that was
Man.
started in Thailand between Thailand and Cambodia. That was an escalation.
Ukraine. Why
Well,
are we there?
ma'am, has the Ukraine-Russia war ended?
I'm hoping soon.
No,
when
I'm
he
not
comes
asking
up
if
with
you're
that
hoping
deal.
it does soon. You said there's all of this peace across the world, and I am now asking you, has the war ended?
That one, no.
Okay,
I
so
think
there's no
Russia's a
peace
hard
there. All
animal
right. Do we
to
have peace
pick.
between Israel and Palestine?
I love Israel, I think is
Do we have peace there? Oh, she's gone. Well, that was kind of embarrassing. All right, guess we're gonna move on to the next person. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much. Okay, y'all, if y'all would like to support the live, first of all, make sure y'all are subscribed if you haven't done that already. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the live, turn on that notification, hit that follow button if you haven't already. If you'd like to support the live, I do have super chats open, memberships open, paid subs, all that fun stuff. So if you guys like to do any of that, I really appreciate you all. So thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Faggot.
That's how you are? That's kind of strange. All right, goodbye. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
I only got a few minutes with my baby. Just have to wake up. But I would say the reasons why. Can you hear me okay? I'm on my AirPods.
It's not the best, but I can hear you.
Sort of. Is this better?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm on my speaker. Okay. So, the two main reasons is better immigration control, seeing ICE out there trying to clean up some of our undocumented immigrants, and then the other would be for the opposition to DEI.
The opposition to DEI. That's kind of strange.
Yeah, I don't really care for the focus on DEI. I think putting such a strong emphasis on DEI is actually dividing. I think Obama started this.
So what is DEI?
You know, are you talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Yeah, it's actually not just DEI. It's DEIA, which is actually the correct term. But what does diversity stand for? What is the opposite of diversity?
It's so. I know you want to get semantics on the.
No, I'm not getting
terminology.
semantics. I'm not getting semantics at all. What's the opposite of diversity?
The opposite of diversity? I don't know. What is the opposite?
All right. What? Oh, where'd you go? Man, people are just hanging up the phone left and right. It's very confusing over here. I don't know what the heck is going on. Can't even get into a conversation. I guess nobody wants to be part of this. Very strange. All right, well, let's keep this thing going. I thought we were on a roll there. Hello, how are you?
Hey, so I'll just be upfront and honest, man. I am not a Trump supporter at all.
All right, man. Well, then have a good day. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good, you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Awesome. Do you support Trump? All right, cool. I'm starting to think it's my phone at this point. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
To a degree, yeah. I support him more than I do the left.
Why is that?
Culturally speaking, in regards to just where we're moving towards, in regards to seeing. Sorry, I got my little one running around here. So basically watching where we've been moving towards, talking about the whole slippery slope argument, and then ends up that's exactly what happens.
What exactly happened?
Like,
that was a slippery slope argument that actually is what happened.
Sure. So like in regards, like, for example, mass migration, right? A lot of people are like, well, if you don't support mass migration, that's an indication that you're racist, or I don't like.
When did the left ever say they support mass migration?
Via policies.
Which policy?
The overwhelming support of sanctuary cities and using our tax dollars to house immigrants.
What's the sanctuary city?
What is a sanctuary city, or which sanctuary city?
What is a sanctuary city?
Sanctuary city is going to be any city that is allocating a large amount of funds to housing a large portion of immigrants.
Wrong. It's not what a sanctuary city is.
Okay. Inform me.
Yeah, sanctuary city just says that local government isn't going to cooperate with federal government when it comes to immigration, like raids and all that sort of stuff, right? It has nothing to do with housing immigrants or paying for immigrants, and has nothing to do with whether they can be deported or whether they can be criminally charged. It doesn't have anything to do with any of that stuff. It just means that they're not going to cooperate with federal law enforcement when it comes to like mass like immigration raids or anything like that, as far as like ICE and stuff is concerned. But they'll still turn people over. They'll still deport people and all that sort of stuff. That has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I feel like you'll be very comfortable doing so. So that's basically what the new form of a sanctuary city is. We've been using the term sanctuary city for the last, 50 years, and it's been pretty loosely determined to be, hey, this is a city that is just in support of migration and allowing housing, whereas now I'm in direct opposition to our government saying I'm going to follow our laws in deporting illegal immigrants.
What state houses more immigrants than any state in the United States?
I'm not 100% sure.
It'd be
I'm
Texas.
Gonna throw three out there.
It'd be Texas. That Texas would be the number one. So if Texas is the number one, and your idea of a sanctuary city is that they house immigrants, then you're literally saying that the biggest sanctuary place in the United States is Texas.
is Texas also one that is, so Texas is very broad, right? So like Texas versus sanctuary city. So we're talking about Dallas versus the entirety
No,
of
I'm
Texas.
just talking
We're
about the state of
Chicago
Texas,
versus the
sir.
entirety of
Sir,
Illinois.
your understanding of what a sanctuary city is incorrect, is what I'm trying to let you to have you understand. Okay, cities don't make laws about whether they house undocumented immigrants or don't house undocumented immigrants. States have certain laws in place that either take care of of migrants, and make sure that they're not going to starve, or that they have a roof over their head, that they're not going to be homeless, that they're not going to be any of those places, right? So those states have those laws, and their cities don't have laws on whether or not they do these types of things.
Right, but when you have cities where like the mayor is stepping up saying, my city is going to be in direct opposition. Take Los Angeles, take Chicago, take New York City. I think it's very clear what I'm
Direct
what
opposition
I'm
of
right?
what?
Like what you were saying, direct opposition of like deportation and ICE raids and things like that.
Well, yeah,
right?
of course. Why would they not be in opposition of things that disrupt their communities and hurt their economies?
So hurting their economy, I'm really glad you said that. So hurting their economy, I highly disagree with that because, and let me.
No, hold on. I'm not asking whether. Hold on. You can get to that. I just asked you a simple question. Why would mayors be in favor of policies and laws that hurt their societies, hurt their economies, hurt their people? They do only all these ICE raids and crazy things. All they are just negatives to everything that's going on in those cities. So why would they be in favor of things that intentionally hurt their cities?
So I wholeheartedly disagree with your premise. It does not hurt their people. Those are not their people. It doesn't hurt their economy. It's actually actively not.
Hold on. What do you mean those are? What do you mean?
People.
What do you mean by those are not their people? I'm
Illegal
talking about.
immigrants?
I'm talking about American citizens. They're the ones that are hurt by these ICE raids. I mean, the migrants are obviously hurt also, but it's the American citizens, the actual American citizens that are in these cities that are hurt just as bad, if not worse, by these types of ICE raids. Okay, because they're going into freaking people's communities, they're ripping out workers, right? When in places, especially where workers are hard to come by, so they're taking away workers from legitimate businesses, because especially in states like California, undocumented immigrants can have ITINs so they can work legally, right? And because they have ITINs, they also pay taxes. So those taxes go into the city. Like last year alone, undocumented immigrants paid almost $100 billion in state, local, and federal taxes, right? So they're ripping tax revenue away from the cities. They're ripping away workers from the city, right? And these people have been here for, some of them 10, 20, 30 years, right? That are being ripped out of these places. So they're integral parts of the community. So you're literally ripping away people's friends. You're ripping away people's family members. You're ripping away workers from businesses, and you're ripping away tax revenue all in one shot. And you're doing it violently and hurtfully to the people that are involved.
So again, I respectfully just disagree with a lot of the premises put forward.
Sir, there's nothing for you to. I'm sorry. What part of that? Wasn't a premise. Those are just facts.
Insane.
When I was talking about things that are just happening.
I can give you an example.
What part was a premise?
So the idea that this hurts the economy, right, and that there's not many people looking for jobs. So it's a running joke, South Park. They took our jobs, but in reality, it's true. When we talk about, and this is a position that Bernie Sanders took for the longest time, that having illegal migrants or immigrants be your workforce, sure, that saves businesses a large sum of money, because they now do not have to sit there and pay them the same livable wages that they would have to pay an American
Incorrect,
citizen.
and that's why I specifically already stated that in states like California, they can have ITIN numbers, which means they fall under U.S. labor laws, which means they're not being paid on livable wages. So try again.
So if you are an actually illegal immigrant, this is the entire premise, that you do not have the same rights because you can be deported. Right?
Sir.
So if you're an illegal immigrant, you can be deported, correct?
Sir, but it does not matter. If you have an I-10, okay, which means you are legally working in the United States, you fall under
we're not
U.S.
talking about legal, we're talking about
Sir,
illegal.
undocumented migrants in the state of California can get I-10s. So undocumented migrants can work legally in the United States, in California.
Illegal immigrants.
Sir, I'm going to repeat this one more time because you're not catching it, okay? So I need you to listen, okay? Undocumented migrants, illegal immigrants, if that helps you understand the phrasing better, can work legally in the state of California. So therefore they fall under US labor laws. So therefore they cannot be paid an unlivable wage. They still fall under the labor laws of the United States and California. And they pay taxes on all of that income.
So how then is it that they are a massive help on the economy if they're no different than normal American citizens?
Because normal American citizens are also a mass help on the economy. Do you not think that working Americans isn't a help to the economy?
It depends. If they're being paid a livable wage, which if you're using California for an example, sure. If they are, that's great. But even then, those businesses do not have to provide the same kinds of benefits because they don't have a social security number. They're not able to sign up for the same kind of health care and pay for it the same way we do, in which case we're talking about the free health care, which again is a tax burden.
Well, in states like California, again, they have things like Medi-Cal, and Medi-Cal, the state taxes help to cover, benefits for freaking migrants in the country, in the state, right? So California has also done that by making it more legal by using the tax dollars in order to do that, right?
Sure. So again, good example. Your first example, though, in regards to what is the biggest sanctuary city pivoting from Texas, does a red state have those same kind of benefits?
No, they do not.
They're the ones with the larger. So they're the ones with the larger populations. Let's talk about them instead.
Well, why would I want to talk about red states, sir? Because Donald Trump already specifically said he's not going after freaking migrants that are working in like agriculture industries within rural red states. And he's going to specifically target migrants in sanctuary cities in blue states that he doesn't like. So while Donald Trump is actively going after migrants in the places where they can work legally, where they are paying taxes, where they are contributing to the economy, right? While he's actively going after those people, he is specifically ignoring migrants in rural states that work in agriculture that can be exploited because they aren't able to work legally, and so therefore they don't have the same they actually that's the actual problem within our labor market. Donald Trump's not going after them, and you know who else he's not going after? He's also not going after the companies that are exploiting this labor.
I agree with that. I do agree that that is a big concern.
Right, but he's not going after them, right? He is specifically going after migrants in places he doesn't like. Okay, and the people that are there. The people that are there, like you said, like Mayor Bass, are going, why do we have federal law enforcement that's coming into our city? They're masked, right? They're not showing their badges. They're breaking down people's houses, breaking into people's houses, right? They're detaining and arresting people, right? A lot of times without any due cause, right? Arresting sometimes American citizens, people that are legally here. They're arresting all sorts of people, which they can't even legally do. That's against the law and outside of the jurisdiction of ICE, by the way. They can't even do that, right? They're not even allowed to ask for papers. That's not even like true. Like, they're not allowed to do that. So again, why would a mayor be for the federal government coming in, having their agents breaking down doors, going after freaking people, a lot of times making a whole bunch of mistakes with masked agents like it's a freaking, like a fascist authoritarian state, right? And ripping people out that are contributing to their community, who have friends who are, vital parts of freaking, their community as far as not only like their friends, their neighbors, their working environments, their economies, all this sort of stuff. Why would a mayor be in favor of that?
Sure. So do you think that it's possible that the reason they're focusing on blue states is because of similar crime rates? Because if you're going to try to put forward the idea that the crime rates are similar in California as Texas, as Chicago, as Tennessee, as Virginia, as Florida, like in different parts of those states, we can. And I name those specifically because I've lived in all those states, and I can name a bunch of cities such as in Virginia, Portsmouth.
Sir, who makes laws?
Do what?
Who makes laws?
Who makes laws? Let's backtrack 30 seconds before I answer that question.
No, because you're naming a bunch of cities, but you're not even bringing up the fact that they are in states that are making the laws when it comes to migration, that are making the laws when it comes to crime, when are making the laws and sort of things. So pretty much all you're just saying is, hey, where there's more people, there's more crimes that are committed. Yeah, of course, because there's more people. That's just how per capita works.
So now there you go. That's the word. So then you got to say per capita, who's committing what crimes? How do you address the per capita? what do you do to address problems? And if you have large cities with a large amount of illegal immigrants, and it's proven that a large amount of crimes are committed by illegal immigrants, where do you go?
Illegal immigrants commit violent crime at a rate 30 times less than American citizens.
Yeah, that is not true.
That is verifiably true. Like, so verifiably, I could easily pull up the reference and put it on the screen and read it out for you within about 20 seconds.
Sure. And I would likely, if it's the one I'm thinking of, I'd like you to put it up before I say. That way I don't put my foot in my mouth, at least too far. I would like you to do that. That way I can put up the counter source.
What's the counter source? Why don't you just go there?
Bear with me. I don't want you to have like radio silence and there's no.
Oh no, because this is a very, very well-known stat, and I would love to see this counter stat that apparently no one's ever been able to find and never existed. So,
sure.
Yeah, I'm just interested. Try to pull up the actual chart. I have the actual data. Here's a fun one. This is actually a different little chart, but we can put this up on the screen just for fun before I bring up the other cool chart, which I actually enjoy a lot more. But this is immigrants are arrested and jailed less often than U.S. born. Compared to the U.S. population, immigrants are 26% less likely to be convicted of homicide and roughly 50% less likely to be arrested for violent crimes.
Arrested for violent crimes doesn't prove much. We can look at Europe to show that in regards to mass migration, we all know the rape epidemic of Sweden.
Sir, why don't you just go ahead and find me that source that counteracts that, and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Sure, I'm working on it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think this is actually the one with the cool chart that I was looking at. Where'd it go?
So are we looking for any specific crimes, or are we just saying all crimes?
Violent crimes.
Or what are we doing?
Violent crimes, which is exactly what I said. Yep.
Violent crimes, okay.
Here's a fun little one, too. I love this one, too. Just while we're throwing stuff on the screen. We make comprehensive arrest data from the Texas Department of Public Safety compare the criminality of undocumented immigrants to legal migrants and native-born citizens between 2012 and 2018. We find that undocumented immigrants have substantially lower crime rates than native-born U.S. citizens and legal migrants across a range of felony offenses. Relative to undocumented immigrants, U.S.-born citizens are over 2 times more likely to be arrested for violent crime, 2.5 times more likely to be arrested for drug crime, and 4 times more likely to be arrested for property crimes. In addition, the proportion of arrests involving undocumented immigrants in Texas was relatively stable or decreasing over this period. The differences between U.S. born citizens and undocumented immigrants are robust in using alternative estimates for the border undocumented population. Alternative classifications as those counted as undocumented at arrest and substituting misdemeanors or convictions of the crime.
So putting my foot in my mouth, I am having trouble finding what I'm looking for
here.
Yeah,
that's because it doesn't exist. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, on your side, though, it's not talking about the actual act of committing said crimes. It's talking about the act of incarcerating. And we all know that's a big issue.
Oh, gotcha. So you're saying that there's a whole bunch more happening that no one knows about, no one caught them on, no one had a crime, no one had an indictment, no one was jailed for. Those are the ones that you're talking about.
Not exactly. I would say drop the no one knows about and they haven't been caught, but they've been released on no bond and let go and lowered from felony to misdemeanor.
Then they weren't violent crimes. Violent crimes aren't dropped from freaking felonies to misdemeanors and then let out on bond.
Oop. There we go. Sorry. So I'm going to use a very modern example. In regards to
this dude talking about jaywalking, like, oh my God, they were let out on bond. I can't believe it.
Oh, obviously not jaywalking. More like assaulting people in subways and.
Oh yeah, can you please show me all of these examples of somebody that was that would, all this mass amount of people that are assaulting people in subways, and then they're getting arrested, and all of these cities who would be freaking crucified for this are just being like, you know what, we're gonna drop your felony to a misdemeanor, and then we're just gonna let you out on bond. Can you please show me the evidence of that? Love to see that.
Yeah, that I can do.
Oh, gladly. $20 as he brings up the guy in New York City that was arrested on a subway. And then they found out it actually wasn't him. Yeah. All right. Well, this guy's trying to find data that doesn't exist. Taco, thank you so much for the 99-cent super chat. I really, really appreciate that. And Maui Girl, I've seen all those gems. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Taco, thank you so much for the jewels also too. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, here's a random one. Don't know the details here. Just picking and pulling. Horizon City, Texas. Topical.
It's insane.
35-year-old man was recently arrested after allegedly physically assaulting a woman during an argument, having 3 outstanding warrants, according to the Horizon Police Department. I'll let you guess. I'll let you guess the nation of origin.
I don't care what the nation of origin. Does it say in there while he was dropped to a misdemeanor and he was released on bond?
Let's see. Conducted a warrant check for the gentleman with the non-American originating name. Well, technically it is American if we want to place it.
Can you just get to the point, dude?
Horizon City Police. Yeah, for an example.
Yeah, an example of somebody that was arrested, undocumented immigrant on a violent crime, was dropped to a misdemeanor and then released on bond. That is what I was looking for.
Oh, super specific. Okay.
No, that's what your claim was. That's not super specific. That's your claim. You made the claim that undocumented immigrants in sanctuary cities are committing violent crimes and then being arrested, having their felonies dropped to misdemeanors, and then being released on bond. That was your direct claim. That's not specific. That's me asking you to prove the point that you made.
Sure.
It's insane.
Man let out on bond, unfit to face trial.
It's insane.
Based on mental capacity.
So it went from people in sanctuary cities are just releasing migrants just out on bond for violent crimes to now the guy is Googling, this guy had a plea of insanity. That's how far we've gotten to.
What is the guy's name who's running for mayor in New York City right now? The socialist.
Zohran Mamdani?
Thank you.
It's
I didn't want to mispronounce it. But yeah, so he's talking about turning break-ins, which are, I believe, a felony. He's talking about turning that down to a misdemeanor. That's an example of what I mean, but I'm going to look up an example.
That's not releasing someone on a felony and dropping it to a misdemeanor. That's changing the laws. Okay, and which would require the House and the fucking Senate and then approval from the fucking state in order to actually change a law, which is how we create laws in this country.
Correct. And if all of your lawmakers agree that we don't want to be representing a certain party as a threat, we need to make sure that all the things they are doing are not considered illegal.
So this is ridiculous. So I'm guessing you have no proof of any of the shit bullshit that you've been saying for this entire time, because I've asked you for proof of all of these violent that this anti-proof that migrants weren't committing violent crime at a rate 30 times less than American citizens. You didn't prove that. Then you said that arrest rate wasn't good enough and that they were being arrested and then having their felonies dropped to misdemeanors and then released on bond. You couldn't prove that whatsoever. Hell, the one freaking arrest that you could find that anyone was even doing that on violent crime wasn't even in a sanctuary city. It was literally in Horizon City, Texas, which is about the opposite of a freaking sanctuary cities. So do you have any proof of anything that you're saying, or are you just so like drinking the Kool-Aid so hard that you don't even like have an idea of what you're even talking about anymore?
It's a little hard to find it through Google, unfortunately, so I'm getting a little creative.
Sir, it's really hard to find things that don't exist. That's what it is. It's very, very hard to find things that don't exist. Okay? Because this is proven data over freaking decades that undocumented immigrants commit crime at a rate significantly lower than U.S. citizens do. Do you know why that is?
Go ahead.
You can't figure that one out?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, because why would migrants freaking walk all the way through the freaking Darien Gap, all the way through freaking gang and cartel territory, all the way through Mexico, and travel all the way up here to commit a fucking crime when they're trying to escape the crime they're coming from? That doesn't make any sense. Especially when you have the added fear, of coming here and then being worried about the fact that you could be deported if you commit a crime. So obviously, if you get here, no, sir, I'm talking now. I'm talking now. Thanks.
It's insane.
Yeah, so people don't travel all of this fucking way to just commit crimes at this high rate. It doesn't make any sense because these people are going through incredibly difficult, incredibly hard, incredibly dangerous treks to get here to escape violence in their own countries or to escape persecution in their own countries. And they're not going to then come here and then commit those crimes on top of that. Is there a certain level of crime that happens due to undocumented migrants? Yes, of course there is. There's a certain level of crime that happens with documented migrants. There's a certain level of crime that happens with U.S. citizens. It happens no matter whether it's a Democrat in office or a Republican in office or whether, what the Congress is or who the Supreme Court is. There is just a certain level of crime that happens in the United States due to migrants, okay? But what you shouldn't be doing is freaking I'm still talking. Awesome. Am I not loud enough for you?
No, I was just agreeing. Like I'm following along.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
engaging in the
So
conversation.
therefore, okay, this entire idea that, the migrants are coming here and committing crimes and all that sort of stuff is just ridiculous. So again, all the way back to the original question, why would mayors who have migrants in their cities, who are integral part of their societies, who are contributing to their tax dollars, who are freaking contributing to their economy through jobs and taxes and all sorts of things, who have been here for 10, 20 years, who have family, friends, and are vital parts of those cities, that are committing less crime than their U.S. citizen counterparts, why would they want the federal government to come in with masked, unbadged agents breaking into people's houses unlawfully to remove people? Why would they want that?
So again, especially with the idea with Tom Homan saying that they're going after the violent ones first, right? So do we agree on just on the basic, like, let's give each other a bone here? Rapists shouldn't be here, right?
Sir, Stephen Miller specifically directed ICE specifically to stop going after criminals first and to start going after people at Cardenas Markets and 7-Elevens.
Okay, but is that what I said?
Sir,
Like,
they are
do we
not
agree that,
going
like,
after criminals first. Less than 15% of the people that they have arrested have any criminal record outside of the civil offense of illegal entry. Yes, in the fantasy world where they were just going after criminals, all for it. Down. Sounds good. I'm great. Actually, I'll put it this way. If Donald Trump was just going after freaking violent criminals and trying to get rid of them in the United States, not only do I support it, but I will freaking condemn any Democrat who doesn't support it on top of that. But that's not what Donald Trump is doing. He is specifically telling them not to go after criminals. To go after people who are harming no one, who are vital members of our society. That is who he's telling them to go after. He is going after people that he's going after people at their immigration hearings. He's going after people that are trying to do it correctly. Right? Mm-hmm. He's stopping people who are literally trying to do it correctly. He's going after them. They're using the IRS as an ability to freaking track down undocumented immigrants. They're literally finding people who are paying taxes and using the tax system to go after undocumented migrants. So if they were going after the criminals, I have no issue, but not only are they not going after the criminals, they are specifically going after people that are trying to do it the right way.
So, mind you, this is coming from somebody that's not seen that, right? So this is coming from somebody who's only heard the propaganda of, hey, we're only going to be going after the criminals, right? Or we're going after criminals, whoever gets caught in the crossfires because they're illegally in the country, right? So where are we hearing, or why is one side hearing we're after criminals and the other side is hearing no, we're not going after criminals. We're specifically avoiding going after criminals. That's a very large disparity.
Well,
in
that's easy
media messaging.
because I'm not on a side. See, you're on a side. Either. No, you are. You might as well be a Fox News talk show host at this point with all the rhetoric that you're speaking. I'm not on a side. That rhetoric came directly out of the mouth of Stephen Miller. Okay, isn't he like the deputy chief of staff of the White House? By the way, a very known racist. Okay, a guy who advocated for stop and frisk. It came out of his mouth. Okay, this isn't like something I'm hearing from some news agency. This is what he said. And then guess what? All of this ICE data and all this sort of stuff. This is documented record. We can see what's going on. We can see the percentages of people that he's arresting. We can see like people, like literally freaking people, like ICE is posting videos of them breaking down people's houses and arresting people who are committing no crime. ICE is on record saying like, oh yeah, we'll just say that we're looking for some guy over here that's committing a crime and then we'll just pick up anybody brown. They literally just got freaking taken to court for racial profiling.
And I'm assuming the person won, right?
Dude, I don't think the court, it's not finished the court case or whatever, but it's ridiculous. They freaking just tried to deport a guy who's literally been here like forever, has 3 sons who are all like U.S. Marines.
I got you. So the same way you threw me the bone of, hey, if Trump is going after criminals in fantasy land, that's good, right?
That's not throwing you a bone. That's just logic. I'm not trying. Right. That's not me giving you anything.
Well, no, a lot of people disagree with you.
Sir, trust me. You voted for Trump and I didn't. There's one of us who's against criminals and the other one's not. You voted for a criminal, a felon, 34 times. I didn't. If anybody's against criminals, it's me, not you.
I didn't actually vote because I didn't like either candidate.
So you're a giant waste of time.
Oof. So question. So being that, yes, we agree that crime is bad.
Nah, I'm good. You didn't even take time enough to vote in this election? No. Go away. I got better things to do. I'll talk to somebody who actually voted. How are you gonna be uninformed and uninvolved? How are you gonna be uninformed and uninvolved, bro? You pick a struggle.
It's insane.
Pick a struggle. Let me get to a few super chats real quick, and we'll move on to the next caller. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Patrick, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, caller believes there's an illegal under his bed. Yeah, the boogeyman. Jose the boogeyman. He scared him. Thank you so much. IK says he's going to bring up the Joker. Yeah, I'm surprised he did it. George said, I'm finna call this rage bait. All right, well, you finna get the phone answered. I don't care. Whatever. And Yellow, thank you so much for the $2. She came. That's a funny name. Your shirt is great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Tatted Tech said, police hate arresting brown people. What country is this dude calling from? I know it's not the USA. Yeah, I don't know which country is here, but that's like the pastime for the police in this country is arresting brown people. So I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you so much, Tatted Tech. I really appreciate you. How you doing today? And Jordan said, should I call and pretend to be a Trumpy? No, you should not. Don't troll. I have plenty of Trump supporters to talk to. I don't need your help. But thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Patrick, again for the $2 super chat, says caller has been hogging the MAGA Kool-Aid. Hogging it, bro. Bro's got a camelback on. I think he's got a freaking injecting it straight into the neck at this point. The Tory experience says white crime is the problem in America. Well, it sure is a hell of a bigger problem than immigrant crime. I'll tell you that much. That's for damn sure. Thank you so much, Tory. I really appreciate that. Monk says, hi, was looking to call, but keep getting voicemail boxes. There's something I'm missing. No, there's no call waiting or anything. When I turn on the phone lines after I'm done with this next super chat, it'll ring. And if you're there, then I'll answer the phone. Nope, there's nothing to do. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Sorry, I don't make the kind of money where I got like a producer behind me or something that's answering phone calls. It's just me here. There's no like call waiting or anything. It's just me. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. And IK said they raided a kindergarten graduation. Yeah, I forgot about that one. But they're going after the criminals. Yeah, all these kindergarten criminals. all these kindergarten criminals. Thank you all so much for the super chats. I really appreciate that. We're going to move on to the next caller. If you guys would like to, Jordan with the last minute $1 super chat too. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats open, as you guys have seen. I also have paid members, and I'm only 7 away paid subscribers from hitting that 250 on TT over here. So if you guys would like to support that way, I really, really appreciate that. Also, I do have all of my pay links. They're in my link tree in my bio. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So if you'd like to support, that's also a great way to support the live. Help me to keep doing this. I did just find out I have to rebuy my processor and all sorts of stuff too. So
It's insane.
So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support and all the love. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I'm going to hit this one real quick too. Warsaw, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said, this is insane. Where has the logic gone? I don't know. Out the window with threw the baby out with the bathwater, apparently. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, but thank you so much, Warsaw. I really, really appreciate that. Hello, how are you? Oh yeah, more important than anything, make sure you guys hit that sub button, hit that follow button. We do this every day but Thursday. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello? Did I get through? Is this live?
You are live. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Hi, my name is Brenda, and I am 54 or 53. 54 this year in October. Sorry.
Oh, nice. So, do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
You know, most of my, how can I say
It's
this? I don't mind on a couple of things that he does with immigration. I do live in California, and just because I am also an immigrant, so you know, I do. I like some of the things that he stands for, or his administration does anyway.
So you're an immigrant and you're supporting the guy who literally said he wants to denaturalize American citizens?
It is funny, yes, but I did come here legally. My dad, he petitioned us all, and we did have to wait 10, 20 years. So did
Zohran Mamdani. So did Rosie. So did Zohran Mamdani. So did Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay.
And he's threatened to denaturalize both of them recently.
You know what, though? On certain things, it's because he, you know how he is. He's very opinionated. He dislikes. When he dislikes, it's like you're on that crap list, you know?
He's trying to denaturalize birthright citizenship.
Well, here's the thing. I know a lot of people that have come here just to have the kids here.
Yeah,
and then they go back home.
That's fine. But what my big question is, if he's trying to denaturalize American citizens that, you know, that came here legally, if he's trying to denaturalize people that were born here, what in the hell makes you think you're safe?
You know what? I've never said I'm safe. I carry my naturalization with me, my passport with me. But you know what? I also haven't committed any crimes. So based on the most recent reports that I've heard and I've read, what he goes for are those that either applied that weren't truthful on their application, or during the process have had like felonies that have committed crimes. So as long as I have not committed any crimes, the people, you know, so it's different. I've known people that have had strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and have been deported. So
less than 15% of migrants that Donald Trump is supporting have crimes.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't know about the percentage. So when it comes to that, I'm ignorant. But I know that a majority of the people that I know that are immigrants, I mean, we're all worried.
How many where'd you migrate from?
Philippines.
You migrated from the Philippines. Okay, got it. Oh shit. Hold on. Oh, you stupid. Sorry, it's gonna make a bunch of noise real quick, so I gotta fix it or it's not gonna work. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, so you migrated here. You migrated here legally. Donald Trump is not allowing for legal migration. Actually, his policies have been so bad that it's actually killing tourism, right? So he's stopping legal migrants. He's stopping asylum seekers. He's trying to denaturalize American citizens. So what exactly part of this whole thing do you support if he's literally getting rid of, well, pretty much you?
he hasn't started the process on me. The ones
Yet.
he's focusing on right now are undocumented because it took us a while to get here. So I appreciate being here. We had to go through so much, and I think when you have a harder time getting into a country, you have more allegiance and you have more loyalty, and you do want to be productive and bring something, your skill to the country that you're denouncing. I denounced my Filipino citizenship, but now I became an American citizen, and I wanted to share my skills and not become a burden to the country, but add to what the country already has. So there's good and bad.
Again, undocumented immigrants paid over almost $100 billion in taxes just last year.
Hello. Hi. Sorry, I lost you there.
So again, Donald Trump is deporting undocumented migrants. Paid over almost $100 billion in taxes just like here. Donald Trump is literally arresting people at their immigration hearings who are trying to do things legally, who have been trying to do things legally for a long time. Okay. He's arresting people inside of the courtroom. Maybe you forgot this from when you immigrated, but that takes like a courtroom in a court case because, you have to go through immigration law in order to immigrate to this country, right? So just like you came here legally and it took you all this time and you were trying to contribute to the society, so were all of these people that Donald Trump is trying to deport. Okay, so what you're trying to do is trying to walk through the immigration door and to get all of the wonderful things that the United States gives to immigrants because we are a country of immigrants, right? And you're trying to walk through that door and then you're trying to shut the door behind you, okay? You're trying to use all the great things that my country has been very well known for the longest time in my country, all right? The country I was born into, one of the things that makes me very, very proud of my country, okay, is that we accept migrants from other countries, migrants like you, migrants like your parents, okay, that work really hard and all that sort of stuff. And Donald Trump literally shits on your ability to do that. There are tons of people right now who are trying to come in the same way you came into this country, who Donald Trump is not allowing to come into this country, even though they've been waiting all of their time, and he's not allowing them to come in because Donald Trump has essentially shut down most forms of migration into this country, okay? So you're trying to walk through that door and you're trying to shut it behind you, and honestly, to be completely honest with you, I find that reprehensible and disgusting.
No, and I understand your point of view. However, he shut it down somewhat right now, or slowed it down, because we have an overwhelming amount of people that have come into the country, whether it's illegal or legal or illegally, that we can't just sustain them. I mean, we have to think of, we want to be able to welcome everyone and help them achieve their dreams.
What do you mean we can't sustain them?
I live in California, and our taxes are so high. And yes,
your taxes aren't high because of migrants.
Yes, they are, because
no, they're
all
not.
The free,
it's insane.
The health care that we
I'm sorry.
For them.
How long have you lived in California?
Since 1991.
1991. So before this huge immigration surge under Biden, there wasn't high taxes in California?
Not the way it is now.
That's a bullshit lie. I was born and raised in California. Born before 1991, also and raised there the entire time. California has had extremely high taxes my entire freaking life, okay? And they've gotten higher, and the reason why the taxes have gotten even higher is because the income is higher, okay? Because people are being priced out, because California is the 4th largest economy on the planet, and it is self-sustaining and also pays a whole bunch of taxes to actually help red states, okay? It's called a donor state. A lot of your tax dollars that you pay actually go into the federal government and go to support states like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. They're the ones who are actually getting your tax dollars, not migrants. Now, granted, there are certain programs for migrants, but if you think your taxes are high because of migrants, then I suggest you move.
Not 100. I didn't say 100%. So please don't say BS. And I have not used any type of.
Ma'am, I'm not asking for your feelings or your opinions. I'm saying it's bullshit.
No.
Does that help you?
Respect.
Ma'am, I don't respect you.
Opinion. Oh, okay.
Why would I respect someone who immigrated to my country and then wants to close the door behind her? Why would I respect you?
You know, it's not about whether I immigrated as a person. What I don't have to believe or agree with you, but I can respect you and your opinion as a person, and I would expect the same thing. But obviously, that's not the case, and I apologize.
You should apologize. Not to me, to all the people like you that are trying to migrate to this country that are being hurt, the people that are being sent to terrorist prisons to be tortured. okay, for committing no crime or anything except for, being a migrant in this country. People who are literally coming from Latin America who are being sent to war-torn, famine-drawn countries like South Sudan, okay, to the country that they've never fucking been to. People that are freaking being ripped away from their children, okay, and being freaking held away from their children due to the migration policies of Donald Trump. That's who you should be apologizing to. I'm not a migrant. I'm not fucking going anywhere. I was born and raised in this fucking country, okay?
Parents get taken away and put to jail. They're also ripped from their families. It's the same
those
thing
people committed crimes.
And you don't think undocumented commit crimes?
There are people there are people that are literally being ripped away trying to seek asylum in this country.
Come on, let's get real here.
Yeah, I am getting real, ma'am. You should open your eyes and possibly try reading a book. There was literally an entire story that was freaking done just like this week.
Very open. I'm very open.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Okay? Because I assume you've never, read the New York Times.
Please don't assume. That makes sense.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what you mean. Please. I have read it, but not recently because I just feel
awesome.
that it's...
So,
yes.
There was this couple that were getting applied for asylum, okay? They applied for asylum from Russia, actually, white folk, too. Applied for asylum using the CBP-1 app under the Biden administration due to political persecution because they supported the person that was running against Putin and they were getting death threats from not only people in the country, but from the government. So they traveled over here. They got an appointment to try to do things the right way, right? Under U.S. law and under international law. They applied for asylum, okay, in this country, okay? Then they traveled all the way here to try to make their appointment to try to get into this country legally, okay? Then Donald Trump shut down the CBP-1 app. And so they were like, oh, shoot, well, we should try to get to the United States and get into the border in order to seek asylum that way. And they came over, they crossed the border, and they immediately went to the Border Patrol and they said, hey, we would like to seek asylum in this country. We've already had, our paperwork already checked and everything like that. And they said, sorry, Donald Trump's policies have now changed and you are now under arrest for undocumented entry. Okay, so put them in, arrested them with their 8-year-old son. Okay, now they said they tried to put them back on a plane. Okay, back to Russia. But of course, they can't go back to Russia, okay? Because if they land back in Russia, they'll be killed along with their son. So what did they say? Oh, if you're not willing to get back on the plane and go back to Russia, then we're going to take your kid and put him in foster care, and we're going to put you in prison until you decide to take that plane. And they were separated from their son for months on months and months on months on months on months, until finally, after so many months of this, they actually finally went to court. And while still not being given relief into the United States system, a U.S. court found that they had all a valid asylum claim to be in this country legally, for which they had applied. So they were in this country. They tried to do everything legally. They came in correctly under U.S. law. Okay, they were in a valid fear for their lives. Okay, and their son was ripped out of their arms, put into a foster care situation with kids that did not speak their language and far away from their parents, with no contact from their parents whatsoever. Please explain to me how that's okay. Please explain to me how these people are committing all of these crimes, just like, people that go to prison. Please explain that to me.
Sure. So what happened is he did close it down, and I have to read into that situation. Didn't hear about it. But the thing is, whoever is executing at the office level should have done their due diligence and double-checked the paperwork. He may have closed it, but there are, like you said, they found that they had the legal rights to enter the country and to continue with the asylum. Just because he closes it down, previous, applications that were already in process should have still been looked at. Whoever processed it or denied that, that's where they need to investigate. Because it's just like when you say, when you say, oh, we're going to no longer continue this, people always have a certain number of days, but everything processed prior to that should still exist.
That's
whomever
is Donald Trump's policy.
At the level, though, they should be double checking.
No, but see, they did double check. But see, Donald Trump stopped asylum in this country. Okay? This isn't like someone made a mistake and should check their paperwork. No, they don't give a shit what your paperwork says. They don't care what your paperwork says, because they don't care if you're in fear for your life or you're coming here legally. They are trying to make sure that migrants don't enter this country. That is
But
what they
this-
want.
this is
Not
my point.
only people that they're not trying to just get rid of criminals. They're not trying to send people back that are committing crimes, or people that aren't trying to do things the right way, or people that aren't contributing to our system, or like you said, people that weren't trying to give their skills. They're not trying to differentiate any of that. You're an immigrant,
And
especially one from a Latin speaking country normally, but even in cases where it comes to Russia or people from the Philippines, and he is getting rid of them at all costs. This is not good for American society. It's not good for the American economy. It's not good for anyone, okay? And again, the fact that you as a migrant can't freaking understand that is pretty disgusting.
I am not disgusting. Please don't do that.
Yes, you fucking are.
Don't. Oh my gosh. You don't need to use those profanity. There's no need for that. We're having a discussion. I thought this was you're asking if we're Trump supporters.
We are having a
and we're
discussion.
But you don't have to use profanity.
You're right. I don't have to at all.
Yes.
I'm going to,
anyway,
but you're right. I don't have to at all.
And that's that. If you can't get your point across without using profanity.
Oh,
then
I can.
don't-
I choose not to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Why
Do
should
you
I?
have to use profanity? Why?
No, I do not have to use profanity. I can sit here and talk all day without using profanity. But see, the things that you are saying are fucking profane. Okay? The things that you are saying are disgusting. And I'm very, very sorry that you don't like the fact that I'm calling you on your bullshit. Okay? I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Maybe you should go. Maybe you should find someone like on the tolerant left. That
do not need to
maybe you should find
apologize,
someone on the
but don't
tolerant
use
left who would love to sit here and listen
I
to your
don't use
bullshit.
profanity,
But I
and
I
don't
have
use
zero will to do
profanity
that
at all.
whatsoever.
Oh my gosh, I don't use profanity at all. Okay, I've had conversations. We're having a conversation.
Well, I do.
You can. I thought we were having
Will
a
Smith don't
good,
have to cuss in his raps to sell records.
I thought we were having a good, healthy conversation here, but you start using profanity and you're disgusted with me because you don't agree with my opinion. How can people we are all American citizens. How can we not get along and just have a different of opinion? Why can't we do that? Why do we have to resort to
because your opinion is hurting
because
people.
it's not the same as yours.
No,
It's not
your
the same as
opinion
yours, but
is
that
hurting
doesn't
people.
mean-
Okay, according to your logic, apparently we shouldn't have freaking even gotten to World War II because Germany just had a difference of opinion, right?
I'm not even talking about
No, that's
War
fine.
II.
We should have.
I
No.
wasn't even
I know you're not talking about World War
II.
II, man. But we should have just.
Oh my
We should have just not even joined, right? Because I mean, really, Hitler was a pretty bad guy, but it really was just a difference of opinion, right?
No.
Oh, but it was just a difference of opinion. We shouldn't have even been mad about it. It's totally okay. It's just somebody that had a difference of opinion. We shouldn't even worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Ma'am, your opinions are hurting physical human fucking beings. Your opinions are hurting children in this country right now. Okay? Your opinions got someone like Donald Trump elected, and Donald Trump's policies, which you're defending, are hurting people right now.
What is wrong
Okay?
with putting our citizens first? What is so wrong that you're disgusted about putting our citizens first and
Sir,
make it
ma'am,
so
we were
we
putting
can
citizens
survive
first under the
so that we can
Okay,
survive
please explain to me
and
how.
help and extend a helping
Oh,
hand.
so you
How-
see,
what
maybe
is wrong with
you
that?
don't understand our country. I thought you'd been here long enough to understand that we can freaking walk and chew gum at the same
Now you're
time.
questioning my
Okay.
understanding. Okay.
Yeah, apparently I need to, okay? Because apparently you don't understand that the US can walk and chew gum at the same time, okay? We don't need to stop helping other people in order to help ourselves, okay? Biden administration, this horrible immigration policy that everybody says which is absolutely hurting us, somehow found a way to freaking pass freaking legislation that helps veterans, that passed the largest infrastructure bill in American history, that was able to forgive student loans for tons of people, who was able to get freaking insulin costs reduced for freaking diabetes patients across the United States, was able to pass all of these amazing legislative acts that put Americans first, that helped Americans. Okay? Getting rid of migrants does not help Americans. It hurts Americans. Okay? We're going to
not
spend
getting
trillions
rid
of dollars,
undocumented.
trillions
I
of
think
dollars. We're going to spend trillions of dollars to hurt our own economy.
Undocumented Migrants are what he does not want. at this time.
Undocumented migrants paid almost $100 billion in state, local, and federal taxes last year. It is hurting our economy to get rid of even undocumented migrants, okay? Because the state of California allows migrants in the United States to have I-10s, so therefore they can work legally and pay taxes for the state of California.
You mean ITNs? Is that what it is?
I-10s, ITINs.
I thought those were for people that have come in legally but cannot.
Not in the state of California.
So you were talking. So when you're referring to that, you're referring to the state of California alone. Not
no, there's
multiple
other states. New York does it. I believe Minnesota does it. Lots of states do it.
Okay. So my understanding on I-10s, as you refer to it, is for legal people that have entered the United States, foreign legal residents that have entered that are unable to secure a social security.
Nope. In California, undocumented migrants can also get I-10s and pay taxes. Not to mention that not only on top of income taxes, they also pay things like sales taxes. In certain cases, they help contribute to things like property taxes if they're getting to certain areas and that, if they can, afford to do that. There is tons of ways that they do that. But on top of that, again, they work. And when they work, especially when you're living in the United States, we're about at the same amount of people. There's about as many unemployed. There's about as many unemployed people in the United States as there are people as there is job openings. If you rip 11.6 million people out of our country that are primarily working, then all of those jobs now go unfilled, which therefore we not only hurt by not getting the tax income, but we also hurt because our economy can't sustain it because we don't have enough people to work the jobs that we're talking about. Or as Donald Trump says, those inner city people don't like to work at freaking in factories or whatever racist ass shit he said this fucking week. So on top of that, we lose the jobs, we lose the taxes, and therefore our economy suffers. And on top of that, we pay to do it. We pay $17,000 on average for every undocumented immigrant that we deport. So not only do we freaking lose the taxes and hurt our economy, but we pay to do it to ourselves. It is not sustainable. It is not helping us, and it is not America first.
Pay health care, so they're all on Medicare or on government subsidy. So think about
incorrect. Undocumented immigrants aren't on government subsidies because it's impossible. Because again, they're undocumented. So how the heck could they get government subsidies?
No. You need to check again. State of California. When they ask for benefits, welfare benefits, they don't ask for their status in the United States.
Incorrect. They do not get welfare. The only thing that they can get is on a limited basis. They can get Medi-Cal.
I beg to differ, sir. I work in that industry and I work in the healthcare industry. So
do not
don't have to be legal here. No, but you're fact. You don't have to be legally in the United States or in California to obtain Medicare or Medi-Cal or food stamps.
Medi-Cal under certain instances, I said that, yes, but not welfare. That's what your statement was.
Oh, no. You have to double check on that because they do.
Sure, double checked, and it's on the screen for everybody to look at, and you're wrong. Cool, that was easy.
When they apply for Medicare or Medi-Cal or food benefits, you don't have to be legally, they don't ask for that. It's not a question. You don't have to state if you're here legally. Now,
ma'am, if you don't like California state laws when it comes to who they support, then move.
What? Why are you telling me to move? I'm just here.
Because we're talking about why you support Trump, and this has nothing to do with why you support Trump. You don't support California because you don't support California. This has nothing to do with Trump or Biden or Kamala Harris or anybody else. You're saying I don't support the state that I lived in, the state that I immigrated to, that I chose to be in. I don't fucking support. Cool. Vote better.
How dare you tell me to move because you don't like my opinion? And
I don't live in California.
The majority in California.
All right. You don't have to. You don't have to move. Stay and stop whining.
You told me to. You said then you move.
No, it's either stay or stop whining.
To direct someone or to tell someone. I thought we are in a democratic country. Is it all the migrants that have all the rights to speak and people that speak? This is how you
have the right to speak.
How you talk to us?
You have the right to speak. You know who else has the right to speak?
Don't be a dictator.
You know who else has the right to speak? You know who else has the right to speak?
Can you have a healthy
See, ma'am. See, here's the thing.
You just start berating the person.
I'm sorry for you YouTubers. I just went ahead and just turned her volume down. She's very whiny, so I figured you guys didn't want to hear that anymore. For the people on TikTok, sorry, you guys kind of have to hear. But for YouTube, I was able to. Is she still talking? She's still there. Sorry, I'll turn it back down. My bad, y'all. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for your guys' ears. That must be really rough. I apologize. I know I have to hear it, which is really. I guess I could just take these off. We could just do that. That'd be a lot easier. I don't even have to hear it anymore. That's a little better. I can still kind of hear it from. It's kind of rough.
Well, it's great to talk to somebody. Obviously, you're
Ma'am,
not.
see, you think that a good, healthy conversation is you getting ready to say whatever bullshit, hateful fucking rhetoric that you fucking want without getting called on your bullshit. That's what you think this is, okay? See, you have no, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to listen, okay? I'm gonna need you to go ahead and be quiet now.
You're
be quiet.
asking why I am a Trump
Be quiet.
and I'm giving it to you.
Be quiet.
I can't believe you.
Yeah, I can't believe an immigrant also that's anti-immigration, literally. Ma'am, either be quiet and let me say a sentence, or I'm just going to hang up on you, which I should have done a long time ago, because honestly, you're not worth even having a fucking conversation with.
No.
Then be quiet.
Conversation is a good debate. You
be
listen
quiet.
And you give your opinion.
Be quiet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. She's having some problems here.
Oh my God, who is this guy?
All right.
It's insane.
Yeah, I know. I was trying, y'all. I'm trying to keep her quiet from y'all because I can actually mute her on that side. I can actually mute her on your guys' side. Just let you know I just muted you, so most people can't even hear you. So you can keep crashing out and crying all you fucking want, but not really helping anything. Are you done? Ma'am, no one can... No, they can't hear you, ma'am.
I don't care, but you're so...
All right. I'm just going to hang up on you because you are a waste of time. Anyways, see, ma'am, what I was trying to explain to you before you completely lost your whole mind and crashed out. See, what you think is that you get to just say whatever hateful rhetoric, piece of shit stuff that you fucking want to say and that you don't get called on your bullshit. See, you know who else has freedom of speech? I also have freedom of speech. And since I also have freedom of speech, I get to tell you that you're a hateful fucking bigot piece of shit. See, it seems that people only want to have free speech, but they don't want that free speech to come back to them. That's the problem. They don't like when that free speech comes back to them. Yeah. All right, y'all. Hey, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much. If you guys would like support, I have memberships open and subs. I need 6 more subs on TikTok over here. If you guys, someone would like to help me out over there or subscribe or gift those, that's really awesome. And Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships on YouTube. I really, really appreciate that so much. Make sure you guys throw a big W in the chat if you got a membership from Taurus. Also, make sure that you guys join the Discord. There are specific channels and stuff for Discord people. And we are going to start up another bingo very soon, too, with the new merch shop and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. Taurus, you're awesome. We're going to hit up a few super chats, then we're going to go to the next caller. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much. Lillian said, I have that same shirt. Thanks for all you do. This shirt's awesome, man. I had to cut the sleeves off because it shrunk the first time I washed it. But it is an awesome shirt. I really, really appreciate that. I did see that, Ari. I'm going to hit that up in 1 second. Thank you for reminding me, though. And Sharon, thank you so much for the $50 over here on PayPal. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Said, go, Paulie. That color was awful. Yeah, she was kind of rough. Tim, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, hey man, I love the show. It's crazy how many people just watch Fox News and act like they know what they're talking about. By the way, you need to debate Charlie Kirk because that dude just spreads false info. Charlie Kirk doesn't actually debate anyone that actually knows what they're talking about. He just debates undergrads that don't know anything, and that's how he tries to look good. But isn't he like a community college dropout, man? That dude's, yeah, he's not very good. I'll debate Charlie Kirk any day. But thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate that. Wake Up said, love your show and what you do. Have to support. You're like a different flavor of Brian Tyler Cohen, mocha and spicy version. Y'all, that might be the best compliment I've ever gotten. A mocha spicy Brian Tyler Cohen. Y'all. that is the best one I've ever, that's the best compliment I've ever gotten. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That is absolutely crazy awesome. Thank you so much. Warsaw, thank you. I'm going to put that back in the screen. I just want to have that up for fun. Warsaw said, imagine you got picked up at your entry hearing, right, Warsaw? That is absolutely crazy. Can you even imagine that? That would be absolutely wild. Just absolutely crazy. Thank you so much. JD3 says primary elections matter. Yes, they absolutely do. 100%. Spearhead said can't sustain immigrants still U.S. populated. U.S. I'm assuming that was an autocorrect. Yeah, we can sustain the hell out of migrants. That's a crazy thought. JD3 also said no president has ever lost the primary and won the election. Dems got it wrong. Okay, cool. I guess. And Yellow says, can someone tell her migrants pay taxes and we don't get anything back? We don't get retirement or healthcare. We work hard. I tried to tell her. Hopefully I did a good job at doing that. It's IK. They'll first come first. They'll first come for us. She's next. Absolutely, 100% IK. That one already came up. Sorry, that one already came up. It does a little repeating thing sometime. Let's see. Hold on. Shane said she's a bad human being and wants to be uninformed. Yeah, just intentionally uninformed. It's really, really sad. Lord said, thank you for turning her off. My ears hurt. Her ears hurt my brain. Yeah, it was hurting my brains. Unfortunately, I still had to hear her. I couldn't do that. But Lord, oh my goodness, Lord, thank you so much for the 5 gifted members. Oh my goodness, make sure you throw big W's in the chat for Lord for if you got a membership from Lord. That's really, really awesome. Thank you so much. And even more importantly, I gotta find it. Hold on. I don't have it where I can put it on the screen, unfortunately. I need to set that up. I didn't have it on today, and of course, but Lackluster Nerd on Twitch right now. Lackluster Nerd just became my first Twitch subscriber that I've ever gotten. So can we get just huge W's in all the chats for Lackluster Nerd, who just became my first Twitch subscriber? That is exciting. Oh my goodness. Big, huge W's for Lackluster. That is absolutely crazy cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that's really awesome. Oh, that is freaking great. That is absolutely great. And Tara, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Said, thank you. That's all I can say. Happy Saturday to you and Ari. Oh, thank you so much. And Tara came back on top of it with 5 gifted TikTok subs on top of that. So we got the $50 and the 5 gifted. Awesome. W's for Tara over there too. And oh my goodness, Harkinson over on Twitch. We just got our second Twitch subscriber. Hell yeah, dude. I need to turn this thing on. I need to turn this on so I can put this. Oh my goodness. I gotta activate this so I can put this on the screen. Oh my goodness. Hopefully it's not too late to activate it and get it up there. But oh my goodness, thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are being so awesome with the support. You guys are absolutely wrecking it. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here and supporting. That is absolutely so crazy cool. Thank you guys for joining the team, becoming members. We need 2 more TikTok subs to hit that little membership on TikTok too. So if we want to hit that, we're going to go on to the next caller. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you guys so much. Harkin Song, thank you so much. Harkin Song and Nerd for being the first 2 on Twitch. And Olivia, thank you so much for the 3 gifted on TikTok too. I really appreciate that. Oh my goodness, that is so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are making my heart happy over here. Oh, you guys are being so sweet. I really appreciate that. Make sure if you got gifted a membership or a subscription or anything like that, you get big W's to those people that send those. They do that out of the goodness of their heart to support the team, and I really, really appreciate y'all, all right? Oh, my goodness. Oh, and we just hit our follower goal on Twitch also. Oh, my goodness, we just hit the 70 follower goal on Twitch. Hell yeah. Woo, we just hit that. Oh, we're getting it over here, y'all. This is absolutely awesome. We're having fun over here. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button, that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. All right. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
32.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but yeah, I guess in general, sure.
Awesome. Why is that?
Why is it that I do, or
Yes. Why do you
is it
support
that,
Trump?
yeah, I think in general, it was push come to shove, right? Between him and Kamala. So yeah, I gotta ride with the vote. Ultimately, I like the America First portion of the platform. There's a lot of things I don't like, but I would be keen to sort of understand where you're at.
Yeah, how's Donald Trump?
Insane.
How is Donald Trump America First?
How's he America First? And more in like prioritizing of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, those sorts of things. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. I'm not that blind, and I'm not fully in support of all things. But in the aggregate, I would say he was the best of the terrible options we had on both sides.
Oh, we didn't have terrible options whatsoever. But Donald Trump is literally.
Who would you say would be
hold
better?
on, a snapping turtle, my Australian Shepherd. But government spending's at an all-time high. We are
to vote for.
Yeah, sir. I'm trying to address something you said there. So let's just hold on there for a second, okay? You said that he's cutting waste. He's not cutting waste. Government spending is at an all-time high. If he was cutting waste, then we wouldn't be at an all-time high. Government spending would we be?
Hello?
Would we be would we be actually cutting government spending? If we're actually cutting government spending, how are we at a new $4 trillion in deficit and at a record high in government spending?
Omnibus was a terrible, terrible bill, and the entire GOP should be embarrassed. Fully agree there.
So you're also
Fully
saying
agree
now
there.
at this point that we're actually not cutting waste?
Well, I think that USAID, things like that, should be explored, should have always been explored. Are we
It was
cutting an
explored.
adequate amount? I don't think so.
It was explored because it was audited every year and passed that audit every year. Yeah.
Right. Like
so
the
it was
Pentagon
explored.
passed its audit, right?
What?
Like the Pentagon, right? We've audited the Pentagon.
No, actually, the
Never
Pentagon has
independently
never
verified.
passed an audit, but USAID did every year.
Yeah. Okay. Based on what merit?
Off of the audit, off of that merit.
Off of the you've given me nothing. I think it's
No,
great
you're
what
just
you're doing,
saying
but
nothing. I'm asking you, you're saying off of what merit? Literally every single year, these government agencies have an audit. And during that audit, we
Right.
find out
Who
whether they're
performs that audit? Who
external
performs the
agencies, inspectors general, people that are qualified to audit these
external.
things.
They're not
Inspector
external.
generals are actually intentionally external.
Who do you think puts the inspector
Sir,
generals into their position?
I don't know what you're trying to get at here. Okay.
But now you're pivoting.
How
You
did
don't
the
wanna answer the
USAID
question.
waste money? Let's put it that way.
Who appoints?
Sir,
Who
be
appoints
quiet.
those?
Sir,
who-
be quiet.
See, once
Sir, be
again,
quiet.
This is what you do. This
No,
is
I was
hilarious.
trying to actually
You're
have
a
you.
joke.
Okay, cool. I
You're
was
a
trying
joke.
to engage in conversation with
Hey,
you. If
do
you,
me a favor. Choke on a dick.
all right. What I was trying to do is engage with you on actual like intellectual conversation. I apologize that you don't have the ability to meet me there. Okay. If you're too stupid to engage with it in me, that's on you. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, Harkin Song, thank you so much. Why is that not showing up over here? Oh, that should be showing up over here. All right, I gotta fix that later. But Harkin Song, thank you so much for the 5 gifted on Twitch over there. The 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. And we've also had a whole bunch of other subs. We just had a 10 goal sub over here. Saucy, thank you so much. Exerwish, thank you so much. Oh, and we're on a hype train over there too. Oh my goodness. Lackluster Nerd gifted this with a lifted for Lackluster Nerd over there. I really appreciate that. Oh my gosh, we are going off over here, y'all. This is so much fun. We are absolutely going off over here with the gifteds. I really, really appreciate that. I don't know why it's not showing up over here. I got to figure out how to get that on the screen.
It's insane.
Thank you guys so much. Big W's in the chat for Hargensong and for Nerd and for all the people, the new subs over on Twitch. I really, really appreciate that so much. Also, we have oh, where'd it just go? Let's go. Taurus with the 5 more gifted over here. I really, really appreciate that. Taurus with the 5 more gifted memberships. Make sure you're throwing that in the chat if you got a new gifted, got a gifted from Taurus over there, who's absolutely smoking through it on there. Like She Game right here did with the gifted. Thank you so much for the $2 gifted. I really, really appreciate that. Warsaw, thank you so much. Warsaw for the $20 super chat. Says, thanks for calling out the bullshit. We're all in this together. Let's act like decent people and put humanity first. Amen to that. Amen to that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's start with humanity. Let's start there. If we start from humanity, I think we'll be all right. And Twist said, it's hard to come to grips with the fact that my country has been handcuffed by people who fail to do simple research on things they claim to believe. It is very sad. It is very sad. Just the slightest bit of research would be all right. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, the gifteds. I really, really appreciate that. You guys are absolutely awesome. We're on a level 3 hype train. I'm still trying to figure out what that means. I'm still kind of new to the Twitch world over here. So, but thank you guys so much for being here. It says I can open a chest. I don't know. Oh, sweet. I just opened up a chest and got a gift emote. This is pretty cool. I'm having fun over here. I'm having a lot of fun over here, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm having a blast.
It's insane.
I don't know. I'm not sure I know exactly what's going on, but I'm having a great time doing it. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Oh, wow, I got through. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that does happen every once in a while. How old are you?
Pardon?
How old are
am
you?
I? 29.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Pardon?
Do you support Trump?
Sorry, do I what?
Support Trump.
Do I support Trump? Okay, so I'm a Canadian. I just want to give my quick angle on it.
Yep, not interested. Thanks, though. All right, we're going to move on to the next person. I have 0 time for Maple MAGA. That's for damn sure. We'll just move on to the next person. Hello, how are you? Good, bye. Listening to yourself, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. All right, where's it we can get another caller in here? Sorry, I don't do the whole Maple MAGA thing. I think it's weird. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good, you?
I'm doing awesome. How old are you?
28.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why is that?
I heard you earlier, you said that illegals commit less crime than American citizens, and yes, that is correct, because there's way more citizens than illegals.
First of all, no, it's per capita. Second of all, didn't you come up here and say that exact same thing like yesterday?
Yesterday, no.
Oh, just the day before that?
2 days ago about that. Yeah.
So literally, I corrected you on this like a few days ago, and you came back up here.
No, you
said
never
literally
my
the exact same thing. No, I actually specifically remember attempting to explain to you what per capita means, because apparently that was really difficult.
No, you got the wrong person. We did not even talk about that. We literally had a short conversation because I disconnected.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. But anyways, you even have an understanding of what per capita means?
I don't need to lie. Okay, buddy, I don't need to lie to you. But
yeah,
okay.
sure, bud. You know what per capita means?
Can you tell me what Kamala said in the Passage of Time speech?
Yeah, she said, go away and find somebody else's time to waste. Was that right? I can't remember if that's exactly what she said or not. I think it was similar to go away and stop wasting my time. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. How old are you?
Excuse me?
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I don't support everything he does, but I will say I overheard you talking earlier about illegal immigration. I definitely disagree with a lot of the points that you made there. I do support him when it comes to that with the mass deportations.
Do you support him that he's doing mass deportations or that he wants to?
Yeah, that he wants to.
Okay, because he's not doing mass deportations, right?
Well, yeah, it's been dialed back on. But
no, it hasn't been dialed back. They're going as hard as they can. They just can't even catch up to Biden's numbers from last year.
Right. Well, those are all things that we got to work on. Now, the narrative, though, is that with a lot of people that are on the left, is that he shouldn't be doing that, right? And that these people need to be granted amnesty and all that stuff. Is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, of course it is. That's the only thing that makes logical sense.
For 12 million people?
Well, not for all 12 million people. I think that there should be rules around it, but probably for the majority of them, yeah.
Okay. You don't think that would have any kind of detriment on our society whatsoever?
It would definitely have some repercussions, like more people paying taxes and jobs that they're already doing, the less exploitation of workers, less, money that we're having to spend actually, deporting, undocumented immigrants, since it does cost us a significant amount, not having to make things like ICE the most, the largest, law enforcement agency on the planet, being larger than I believe the IDF by the time that it's done. There's gonna be tons of repercussions. I guess there would be. Oh, that's weird. What the heck just happened? That was weird. There would be tons of repercussions. I guess probably the only singular repercussion that would actually be be bad would that not bad, but just something that would happen would be that prices would probably go up a bit because companies would be able to stop, would have to stop exploiting their labor.
Yeah, and that exploitation of labor is a big problem. You hear this narrative all the time that, well, they're taking the jobs that Americans don't want to do, but I would argue that Americans don't want to do backbreaking labor for horrible pay and no medical benefits. I mean, that essentially implies that Americans are lazy, but Americans have no problem working as firefighters, working on offshore oil rigs, working as steel workers.
Those are all jobs in the United States that are considered at least medium class. They're good paying jobs. They're hard jobs, but they're good paying jobs. But nobody that you want to ever says oh, I can't wait to go work on a farm or something like that, or go work in a factory like they used to, and making shirts or something like that. Those are just not things that are considered good jobs in the United States, right? Now they could become possibly good jobs, but the way that we do that, and like you said, the exploitation of labor is a big problem. But what do you think is going to be the best way? Let's just think logically for a second, right? If we're trying to fix the exploitation of labor by corporations in the United States, do you think us trying to track down, find 11.6 undocumented immigrants and trying to deport them at a huge cost to the United States taxpayer is going to be the most efficient way to freaking get rid of that exploitation of labor? Or telling the people that are already working, hey, there's a type of amnesty that you can get and so you can work legally and you can just turn yourself in and we'll just give you the ability to work? Which one do you think will be the quicker, more efficient, and least expensive way of creating stopping the exploitation of labor?
Well, that's a very complex issue that you're bringing up, because when you're talking about essentially granting them amnesty and now they're citizens and now they're legally, able to do those.
I didn't say
jobs.
Citizens.
Now, well, but here's the thing: when you're essentially switching to that way of doing things, now they're going to be getting paid more. There's going to be different expectations. So
correct.
Cheap labor because they are illegal aliens or illegal immigrants. It's not cheap labor just because they're like, oh, well, I'm going to do this job because the Americans don't want to do it. Like I said,
sir, you're not responding to anything that I'm saying. To be completely honest with you, no, you're not.
Kind of obfuscated a little bit.
No, you're trying to obfuscate literally right now. Okay, I already said that prices would go up. I asked you about the exploitation of labor. Okay, you are saying you admitted that the exploitation of labor is bad in the United States. I am asking you which process would be more efficient for fixing the exploitation of labor. Would it be Donald Trump's policy of spending trillions of dollars in order to try to chase down 12 million people in the United States to hopefully catch as many as they can, okay, to try to get rid of them, okay? Or would it be more to be like, hey, you can turn yourself in as undocumented if you're working, and we can have you be able to work here legally, therefore stopping the exploitation of labor? Which one do you think would be more efficient?
Yeah, so Donald Trump's plan, for more reasons than that, because you also have the issue of 12 million people that are unvetted in the country, right? And there has been issues with Tren de Aragua taking over apartment buildings in Florida. You have issues with MS-13 wreaking havoc on the Western Seaboard.
MS-13 is a U.S. gang.
We want to know MS-13.
MS-13 is a U.S. gang. Yeah.
Yes. But who are members of MS-13? There were people who came from the Civil War in El Salvador. Many of them are illegal.
Yeah, maybe 30 years ago, dude. They're all American citizens now.
How did that happen?
Because they were born here.
Because we granted amnesty to a bunch of gangbangers.
No, because they were born here. You do realize, sir, that also being in a gang is also not illegal. Did you know that?
Well, committing the acts of violence and selling drugs.
Committing act of violence and selling drugs is absolutely
Being
horrible.
in a gang isn't a crime, but what these people do is 100%.
Yeah, and I think that if people are
Are we
committing
supposed to
crimes, then I
believe that,
100% think that they should be prosecuted according to the law. Do you not agree with that?
But why grant them amnesty?
I didn't say we should grant them amnesty. I said if you're committing a crime, you should.
You said you want to grant amnesty to 12 million people.
No, sir. Actually, you said
so.
So you want to grant amnesty to 12 million people, and I said,
yes.
and no, I did not. Pay attention, sir.
Yes, you said
Okay,
yes.
sir. It's not a big deal, sir. It's all recorded, and I'm just gonna play it and make you look like an idiot later. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat what I actually said and what everybody here actually heard me say. Maybe you could pay attention this time. You said, "Do I want to grant amnesty to 12 million people?" I said no. I would say that there should be rules around who is granted amnesty. I would say probably for the majority of them, though, yes.
Okay, so you're saying the majority of them. Now, how do you vet these people unless you have a cooperative government? I mean, tell
The
me, how
same
are
way
you
we
gonna
vet
the
anybody in this
majority
freaking
of these
country.
12 million people.
Sorry,
Now, what's
the same way we vet. The same way we vet anybody. That's not. How do we vet people that are coming from Europe, or how do we vet people that are here on work visas, or how do we vet anybody that's coming to this country? Because we know how to vet people. It's not that difficult.
I could tell you exactly how to do it because I worked with the CIA team in Baghdad, Iraq, when we had to vet people. And I'll tell you right now, it's not easy. You need cooperation from the local government. Is Venezuela?
Yeah, how are we going to figure that out?
Is Mexico cooperative with us, as corrupt as they are?
Yes, Mexico is cooperative with
No,
us.
they're not.
Yes, they
No,
are.
they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely not.
I don't care what you have to say.
Venezuela is cooperative with the American
I'm not
government.
asking your fucking
You're
opinion
high right now. You're high right now.
But regardless of fucking any
It's
of
not
that,
an
sir, there's
opinion,
tons
it's a
of ways.
reality, dude.
All right, sir. So do you believe that we should
And
fucking
how
be
much
able?
money
No,
is that gonna
stop
cost
talking.
to vet all
Stop
those
talking.
people? Have
Stop
you crunched
talking.
the numbers on that?
Stop talking. Okay. Do you believe that we should
I
have
mean, you're-
immigration into this country at all?
Yes, legally.
Then how are we
vetted
going to vet them?
immigration.
Then how are we going to
And the
vet them?
most radical-
No, then how are we going to vet them? Then how are we going to vet them? Then how are we going to vet them? How much is that going to fucking cost us? How are we going to vet them? How are we going to vet them? How are we going to vet them, sir?
Well, are you going to
Sir, how are we going to vet
into
them?
the microphone
Sir, how
and
are
go,
we going
let
to
me
vet
answer
them?
your question?
Sir, how are we going to vet them?
Are you gonna let me answer your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So you vet them by having cooperation with the local government.
It's insane.
And if the government isn't able to cooperate with you, then no, don't let them in.
You do realize
Yeah,
that we
see how
have
simple
legal
that was?
migrants that are coming here from Venezuela, from Honduras, from Mexico, and we're vetting all of them the entire way through, right?
How?
Sir, I don't know. Go look it up. I don't
You
have time to
know.
read.
Exactly. You don't
Yeah, sir,
know.
because
you're talking out of
Sir,
your
no,
ass.
I am
You
not a
don't know.
professional on vetting people. Are you?
I worked with the
No,
CIA
I didn't
team in
ask you that,
Baghdad,
sir.
Iraq, when it
I'm
came to
sorry.
vetting.
In which part of fucking the immigration service do you work in that has to do with vetting people?
That right now?
Yes.
I don't work for the federal government right now. I'm a
Oh,
veteran.
gotcha. Thank you for your service. So, what fucking part of vetting are you familiar with?
Well, what do you mean? It's multifaceted.
Well, sir, I'm saying that because the U.S. government, because ICE, because Border Protection, because U.S. State Department, because everybody that freaking works within our government says that we have the ability to vet these people in our country. And they've said that both under Biden's administration and Trump's administration. How exactly they fucking vet the people, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a professional on how they vet people. But if the Trump administration is saying that we can vet them, and no, I'm still talking, sir. Sir, I'm still talking. Sir, I'm still talking. So you won't say anything because I'm still in the middle of a sentence. So if the Trump administration is saying that we can vet them, and the Biden administration is saying that we can also vet them, and they can both agree on us being able to vet people from these freaking countries, then why would I not trust that ability for them to vet the people, considering it's bipartisan, and you also do not have any inside information that says, otherwise. Also, on top of that, I just Googled it to find out, and Mexico does cooperate with the United States on immigration vetting. So that was a complete lie. So not only do you not freaking know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Well, what about I said Venezuela, remember?
No, I said Mexico. You said you think Mexico cooperates with us on vetting. And I said, yes, Mexico 100% cooperates with us. And you said, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That is specifically what you said to me.
No. I said
No,
how do they vet people? And you
sir.
said,
I'm
I
not
don't know.
asking your opinion. You said Mexico.
It's not an opinion, it's what you said.
Sir, again, I'm just going to record this. It's not a big deal, sir. I hope you're ready to be fucking famous because I'm going to create a video about this because you can't even keep track of the words that are coming out of your own mouth at this point.
Well, I mean, you're just kind of like BSing and obfuscating. Like, even, like, I mean, for example, with this whole vetting thing, you don't know what the process is.
Neither do
9 times
you.
out of 10, when they bring these, yes, I do, because I've had visas in other countries. 9 times out of 10, they bring in for an
Hold on, because you've had
interview.
visas in other
They ask
countries,
you
so have I.
questions. They want to see, hey, do
Hold on,
you
so have
have-
I. What is it? That doesn't
Yeah, I
make you a
lived in Mexico
professional
for
at
2
vetting.
years.
Hold on.
It's
That doesn't make you a
insane.
professional at vetting.
Yeah, but neither are you. I mean,
Exactly.
you said you don't know what the
Exactly.
vetting
That is
process
the entire point, sir. That is exactly what I'm saying, is that neither of us are professional in vetting. That is my entire point.
Well, I know more about it than you do. You don't know anything about
No, it doesn't
Have
sound
you
like it,
ever
sir.
held a
It sounds like
visa
you're just like,
on-
I've been to another country once, so I know how vetting works. And that's not true. So you're telling me that the Biden administration and the Trump administration and the Obama administration
Well, no, I can-
and
I
the
can
Bush
tell you,
administration. No. So you're saying that all of them are lying and saying that we're vetting people from these countries, that every
I
single
didn't
one
say-
of them,
I didn't
bipartisan.
No, I didn't say they're lying. I didn't say they're lying. I said they're doing a bad job at it. That's what.
No,
that's the
they're
bottom
saying
line.
that
They're
we're
doing a bad
vetting
job at
people.
it. Because here's
Hold
the
on, they're
bottom
saying
line.
that we're
The
vetting
majority of
people. So are we not
hang
vetting people?
hang
So they're lying.
Relax.
I am very
The
relaxed,
majority-
sir.
or
I am.
look at
No,
50%.
see, now you're trying to
No,
obfuscate
oh
since you
my
want to
God.
freaking talk
Dude,
about
you gotta let me talk,
obfuscate.
man.
No, I truly fucking don't. To be completely honest with you, again, sir, if all of these governments are specifically saying that they're vetting people, and you went from they're not vetting people to now they're not vetting people well enough, okay, so you've already
No, they're
changed.
not. They're
So
not vetting
apparently
people well
they.
enough.
So are they vetting people or are they not vetting
If
people?
you're not vetting people well enough, you're not really vetting them, are you?
Gotcha. So they are vetting people now because a second ago they weren't vetting people at all. Okay. So
I mean, like,
a second ago you said they weren't vetting
but
people
here's
at all.
the reality.
And
Here's
no, I'm
when you
still
bring
talking.
People into your office and you ask them.
All right, I just muted you so no one can hear you. Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Well, I mean, you're just shouting over me the whole time. You're not even letting me talk.
No,
I mean,
sir, because
I
you're just
have
saying
to-
shit.
point.
You're not saying anything, okay? Here's your entire standpoint, okay? Everybody says that that we can vet people from these countries. We are accepting people from asylum seekers, and we've accepted asylum seekers under the Trump and Biden administration from these countries, and they're saying they're being vetted. Okay, we see that the crime rates for the people that they're being let in this country are minuscule low, like bare minimum.
No,
so therefore, the
not true.
vetting process is obviously working. Okay, but you're saying that the same process in which we vet asylum seekers, people on refugee status, people that come here legally and have work visas, the same way that we vet all of these people, okay, that we catch tons of criminals in vetting, right? Because we catch tons of criminals in this type of vetting, right? Like all the time. So all of that vetting that works for when people are coming here legally somehow cannot be translated into freaking people that are already here. People that have already been here, and I said I had rules around it, right? So people that had already been here, and my rules would probably be something like 5 years. People who have been in the United States for at least 5 years. People who have committed no crime since they've been in the United States, and people that could be vetted under the same status of every single legal migrant that we have in this country. Okay.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let me address that because you said people have been in this country 5 years, 7 years. The question is why? If I was illegally in Japan or Mexico, if I was there illegally for 5+ years, right? They wouldn't say, "Oh, he's been here for 5 years. Give him a passport. Give him citizenship. Give him HEAP and CRLA and DACA and freaking Medi-Cal and all that stuff." They wouldn't do that for me. No, they would arrest me, fine me. I would be detained. I would be deported. I'd be barred from reentry.
Well, sir, if you'd like to move to Japan, then that sounds great. If you lived in North Korea, you'd have zero immigration whatsoever.
We're not talking about North Korea right now.
Well, I'm saying if we're just picking out random countries, if we're just picking out random countries and talking about their immigration laws, Japan's also a fucking island and doesn't have a land border.
If I did that in Mexico, they would deport me.
They also don't have a land border. Okay, and Mexico does have
Mexico doesn't have a land border?
Sir, I was talking about Japan. That's who you brought up. We're still on the last one. Stop trying to move the conversation, okay? You wanted to bring up Japan. Japan doesn't have a land border, so that's a very, very different situation. And Mexico does have a very large group of undocumented. And Mexico does have a very large group of undocumented migrants in the country.
Do they now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and what do they do with those migrants? If I stayed there, if I overstay my FFM,
the same thing that we do here,
I got caught by police, I'd be deported. Would they grant me amnesty? Would they make me a citizen because I've been living there?
Sir,
for
what would
5,
happen
6
if you were
years?
caught as an undocumented immigrant in Afghanistan?
Same thing.
Yeah.
They
What about
deported.
North
They probably picked
Korea?
me up. Yeah.
What about on Mars?
So that's my question.
What about
That's
on
my
what?
question.
What if you were
Why
caught
is
as an
it-
undocumented migrant
we
on
reward
Mars?
and we hang on.
What? No.
Why is
What
it
would
that
happen
we
if you were an
reward-
undocumented
Oh my
migrant on Mars? I'm just curious.
Why is it?
No, I'm
that
sorry. I'm
it
not
falls on
answering any of your
articles that
questions
says
until you
American?
answer mine. I'm sorry. I'm really concerned about the
You
Mars
didn't answer
thing.
my questions. You're just
I'm
rambling
really
on.
concerned about the Mars thing, sir.
So you just want to dodge every point. That
No,
I
sir,
make?
because you just want to talk about every other country. We in this country have a constitution and we have
No, I
laws.
asked you a serious
Okay.
question.
No, I'm just tired
Why
of
does
you
this
just jump from
fall on
country to
American
country to
shoulders?
country to country to country to country
Why
to country.
do we have to take in people from Mexico when the people in Mexico?
We don't have to.
If I was in Mexico illegally,
We don't have
they
to.
would deport me. Why is that? So why are we?
Why do we have to make a law against murder? Why do we have to freaking have legal migration in this country?
We're not
Why do
talking
we
about
have
murder.
to?
We're
Why do
talking about
no,
illegal
sir.
immigration.
Why do we
We have
have?
people in our own
Why do
country
we
that are
have?
suffering,
Why do we
and you
have?
want to go help
Sir,
everybody
why
else
do we
but us? Why
have
is
to have
that?
Europeans in this country? Why when they came here illegally? Why did we
We
have
don't.
to have slavery in this country?
We don't.
Why do we have to do anything? The reason is because we don't. We don't have to do anything.
What does that even mean?
You asked why we have to have migrants here. We don't. We don't have to do anything.
So
okay.
the better question would be:
The question isn't why do
are
we have
putting
to.
our
The
American
question is
citizens on the
why is
back
it a
burner
good thing
to go
to
take
do?
in all these
We're
other
not.
people?
Well, no, the only person that's putting
We
Donald.
are.
The only person that people
We
that
are.
Sir,
We have-
sir,
dude,
stop
we have-
talking.
we have
Stop
illegal
talking. All right,
immigrants
I'll mute you
that
again. That's
have
fine. All right, I just muted you again. That's fine. Yeah. The only person that is putting undocumented immigrants ahead of U.S. citizens is Donald Trump, because he is using U.S. tax dollars in order to freaking to try to get rid of undocumented immigrants that could be being used to actually help American citizens. At the same time, he's ripping away food benefits from American citizens. He's ripping away Medicaid and health benefits from American citizens. He is the one that is literally taking from American citizens and prioritizing undocumented immigrants in their place. Right? Where Joe Biden was actually doing things for American citizens, but you guys were complaining about, undocumented migrants. Joe Biden actually passed policy that was actually helping American citizens. Largest infrastructure bill, the reduction of insulin costs, the PACT Act would help veterans like yourself, right? Actual policy that was helping American citizens, okay? Donald Trump is the one that is prioritizing the migrants because this is going to cost us trillions of tax dollars. And it is the American citizens who are going to pay the bill for that, not to mention the fact that American citizens have to pay all the rest of the bill for all of the tax dollars that migrants are no longer going to be paying. So this is truly, Donald Trump's policy is truly putting migrants above American citizens.
Okay, am I unmuted now? Or am I still muted? Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so, man, you just went on a whole rampage there of different things. But getting back to the topic.
No, I didn't
we're
go on a
talking
rampage
about
of certain things. I went on a rampage of
Are you
one
letting me
thing.
talk?
No, address what I said.
Are you going to let me talk?
If you address what I said.
Sure. So
address what I said.
What we're initially talking about is why
no, not what we were
is it
initially
our
talking about. I am talking about the fact that Donald Trump's policies are putting migrants ahead of U.S. citizens. That is what I was talking about.
Okay. Let me say what I need to say, okay? Because I think you just don't want me to talk because you know I'm going to refute a lot of
No,
things
I'm
that
just
you're
tired
talking.
of you just
I'm kinda
moving to
putting
the
you in
next
a
thing,
moral-
next thing. The
I'm
next thing
kinda
that's going to
putting you
come
in a
out of your
moral
mouth is
corner right
something about Japan or Mexico or something else. I want you to
No,
address.
no, we already
You
covered that, and
specifically
you
said,
couldn't
sir.
answer it.
You specifically said, sir, that we need to put the U.S. citizens ahead of migrants. First,
Yes.
correct. Now,
Yes.
please explain to me.
Correct.
Okay, please explain to me how Donald Trump, okay, hurting the U.S. economy, taking food stamps away from people, okay, taking food assistance, taking away things like school lunches, taking away health care for millions of Americans, okay, and using that money to try to go towards
like I
freaking
said.
ICE and stuff like that. How is that Americans first over migrants?
Okay. So here's the thing. Like I said before, what I do support is the deportations. I said initially, I don't support everything that Donald Trump does. I'm not some hardcore Trump supporter, but I do support the deportations. That's what we're talking about. I'm not talking about school lunches right now.
No, sir, we're talking about putting
So you're making
Americans
it about that.
first.
But here's what I'm going to tell you.
Sir,
Yeah.
who's
And you know
paying
what?
for these for ICE to
Donald
be the
Trump is
largest
wrong
law
on that.
enforcement?
Donald Trump is wrong on that.
Who is paying? Who is? Yeah.
And we need to not grant amnesty to the majority of the 12 million people who are in this country illegally. Their presence in the country is a crime, and they are using up our tax dollars, and they are affecting our housing market.
No, they're
it's
not.
a huge issue. Everybody knows it.
No, they're
But
not.
people like
Actually,
yourself
there was
that
only
pretend that it's
undocumented
a problem.
migrants.
You know it's a problem.
Undocumented migrants cost the American taxpayer less than $40 billion last year, and they paid almost $100 billion in. So not only are they not costing us money, but they're actually paying us money to be here. They're not hurting us. They're not hurting our job market.
But
They're
that's
not
only
freaking
one
draining our
aspect of it.
resources. They can't get things like
That's only
welfare.
one
They
aspect
can't get
of
things
it.
like
There's
Medicaid. They
also the
can't get any of those things. Okay. So they're not leeching off of our system. They're not getting any of those things. They're paying us money. They're not hurting our housing market. Donald Trump's policy.
Yes, they are hurting our housing market.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you going to
100%
now
they
explain
are.
to me how undocumented immigrants can buy houses and lease property?
No, it's not that they're buying houses and leasing property. It's that they're taking up space. When you have 12 million people that are flooding your major cities, yes, they take up space.
Sir,
But guess
that
what?
12
The
million people,
majority
how
of
long did it
American
take those
citizens
12 million
live
people to
in
come
major
here?
metropolitan areas. So
How
yeah,
long-
they 100%.
How long did it take those
take up
12 million
space.
people to get here?
But what does that have to do with?
Because
me
you
and how
said there's
long they
12
took
million
to
people
take?
flooding, and you do understand that 12 million number is over the last 50 years,
Okay,
right?
there's 12 million people that are here illegally right now, according to the Department of Homeland Security.
Right,
And
over the
OHS.
last 50 years.
It doesn't matter. They're
But that's
here right
not
now.
flooding.
12 million here right now. It
That's
doesn't
not
matter if they're
flooding
coming
the
in or
gates. What is
whatever.
that?
They're
I can't
here
even do
right
the
now.
math that quick. What's that, like 200,000 people a year or some shit?
Who cares how many people a year it is? It's
Because
too
that's
many
not
damn
flooding.
people.
You said they're flooding our properties. They're
Oh,
flooding our
God. So
gates.
now you're going to use
They're
the
not.
verbiage. The
No,
point
but that's
is-
important
okay,
because you're right,
okay,
sir.
You know what?
If
You're right. I
12
shouldn't have
million
said
people,
flooding.
you're right,
What I
sir.
should have
If
said was
12
flooded.
sir,
I'm sorry, I
you're
didn't put
correct.
an ED at
If
the end
12
of it.
million people flooded the United States, then you are 100% correct. We could not handle that. But 12 million people coming over 50 years, we can totally handle that. That's not difficult at all.
It's not over 50 years.
It is
was
over
over
50
the
years.
last 4 years,
50.
according to the DHS.
50.
No, it's
50
not
years.
50 years.
According to the Department of
No.
Homeland Security, 1.7 million came over in the last 4 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Can you pull that up?
Sure.
I mean, if I'm wrong about that, then I'm wrong. But the point still stands that there's 12 million people in the country illegally. And that's a huge problem. They're unvetted. We don't know who these people are.
Then
And then
let's
the
vet them.
narrative from people like you is, oh, but they don't commit crimes and they commit crimes less than citizens. It doesn't mean that they don't
No,
commit
my
crimes.
stance is let's vet them.
To do what?
My stance is let's vet them.
But we're not doing that, are we?
No,
We have
sir.
12 million
Again, but
people
my
here.
stance.
You want to talk about the cost?
Sir,
You wanna talk
my
about the cost?
stance.
What is that gonna
Sir,
cost?
my stance gets them vetted quicker. Your stance makes it more difficult.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No,
Because
it
if you are
Not at all.
chasing people down, that means they are running away from you.
Yeah,
If
they're
you
also
give
self-supporting
amnesty
right
to
now,
people,
too.
if you give amnesty to people, they run towards you.
Well, no, they are. Yeah, exactly. But
Right.
the point
So
is
my
that a lot of these
stance
people
gets
too are
them
self-supporting
vetted
right now.
quicker. So all of a sudden you don't want them vetted quicker?
I want them gone.
So
That's what I want.
Yeah,
I want
exactly,
them
because it has
gone.
nothing
I
to
want
do with
out
them
of this
being
country.
vetted. It has nothing to do with them being vetted. 100%. Now you are finally admitting it. It has nothing to do with them being vetted. So
No,
can
yes,
we
it
leave
does.
that alone
It
now?
does have to do
No,
with them
it doesn't,
being
because
vetted.
if
It
you
has to
wanted
do
them
with their
vetted,
effect on the
sir,
housing
if you
market.
wanted them
If they were
vetted,
a
sir, if
golden
you wanted
parachute
them
for this
vetted,
country, I
then
would say bring
amnesty
them
is
all
the
in.
best way to get them vetted.
No, that's like I said, that's only one part of it. That's only one part of it is the vetting process. But there's other things that are going on, which I already mentioned. I mentioned the housing. I mentioned them taking up taxpayer money. We're talking about HEAP, CRLA, DACA.
Don't take up that taxpayer money.
Med-Cal,
I've already
access
showed
to
that. And
community
if you want to
health
talk
care.
about the number of
these are all
migrants,
things we shouldn't pay for.
yeah,
Hang
again,
on.
sir,
If I
they're
was in
not.
another country, it wouldn't
Yeah.
be giving me any of that.
Sir, Center for Immigration Studies shows the numbers that I just talked about, okay, about the 1.6 million or 1.7 million estimated under the Biden administration. And it shows the 11.7 million that have come in the United States since over the last 50 years, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
But guess what? The
And
most
actually,
radical
if you
reform
actually really want to
caused-
look at it
caused
right
to
now,
bring in-
actually, we're actually lower according to this than we were at the end of 2008. So when Bush left office in his second
why is
term,
it that we're
we're
lower
actually
right
lower on undocumented migrants right now than we were
Why
back
is
then.
that? Why are
Uh,
we lower right now?
well, there's lots of reasons why we're lower right now.
Could it have to do with immigration and customs enforcement? Could it have to do with all the people that are self-deporting right now?
There's
And the real
no
question-
one
the real
self-deporting right
question-
now,
and
sir.
here's where we
What are
get
you
it.
talking about? There's no one
Here's where we-
self-deporting.
There are people self-deporting.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. So these
And on
people
top
come
of
over
that-
here, they're
and
going
here's-
to their immigration hearings, they're paying thousands of dollars for lawyers, and they're deporting, they're self-deporting for $1,000. Got it.
No, they're leaving. That's what I mean by self-deporting. They're leaving. They're going back home.
Sir, if you're just
Yeah,
a racist
it is
bigot, just
happening.
fucking say so. Like, it's a lot easier. It would make this whole thing a whole lot easier if you were just like, I'm a racist bigot, and I don't
would
like,
make it a
I don't
lot
like all
easier
the,
if you
I don't
shut
like
up for
all
2
these. I'm a
seconds and
giant
let me address your
xenophobe,
point.
and I don't want anybody else here that doesn't look or sound like me. If you just say that, then it makes this
dude,
conversation.
I'm from Latin
so-
America.
I
I'm
don't
from
care.
Latin America
I
originally.
really
My
do
biggest
not.
issue-
I
my-
could not
no,
give
well,
a shit.
I know you don't
I
care.
could not give
I
a
know
shit.
you don't care.
If you're
But
just
I
a
am from
racist
Latin
fucking
America
bigot, then just
originally.
fucking
My
say
family
so,
came here
dude.
the correct
It makes this a lot easier because you're trying to use that all these people came under Biden. You're wrong. You're trying to use they're draining our
Yeah,
system
so-
as far as
so
tax dollars. You're wrong.
trying to use
Okay,
the whole
you're trying to
xenophobe
use
thing,
that they're
but
not
that's what
vetted.
it's about.
You're trying to
I
use
don't
that
have
they're
a
not
problem with
vetted, but when
immigrants. I have a problem with people coming in this
sir,
country illegally
sir, when
and
they're
soaking up our resources.
Sir, be
That's
quiet.
what I have a problem with.
I gave you how they're not soaking up our resources. You care. You do not care
They
to
are
pay.
soaking up our resources.
Sir, be quiet. How'd you
Because
say you
you're
were?
saying, oh, they're paying.
How'd you say you
they're
were?
paying into a tax system.
Sir, how old did you say
obligated
you
to
were?
do that if you're working in a foreign country anyway.
Yeah,
It's
also,
not a charity.
how old do you say you were?
23.
Oh, okay, that actually makes sense. That I would have guessed 13 the way you're acting, but that's fine. So I've already shown you how they're not draining our resources.
12th
That's fucking
birthday.
done. I've already showed the dichotomy in your argument about the housing, which doesn't make any sense. Already done. I already showed how you were wrong about immigration numbers. Already done. Okay, I already gave you a perfect way where we could vet undocumented immigrants, and you said you don't want them vetted that way, okay, which would be the correct way of vetted. So you don't
No,
care
that's
about
not what
whether
I
they're
said.
vetted or not.
That's not what I
so
said. I know what the
just
vetting
go ahead and
process
admit
is.
it
You
and
don't.
just say,
You said you
sir,
don't know how they're
I'm a giant xenophobe, and I just don't want anyone here. I just don't care, and I like Trump's policies
don't
because
want
he gets
anyone
up on
here
stage
illegally, no.
and
I
says
want
stand up
people
and
here
stand by.
legally.
He supports
The way
racists
that-
like
the way
Nick
my
Fuentes.
family came here.
So he supports, racists like Nick Fuentes. He supports freaking David Duke. He supports the Proud Boys. He supports all these racist organizations. And I completely agree with him on all of that matter. And I just don't want them here. And if that's the case, that's fine, sir. It makes this argument so much easier if you just admit all that.
Did you mute me right now, or am I still audible on that video? Hello? Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to address that. No, not a xenophobe.
I thought so, Hector. I fucking thought so.
Hector.
I fucking thought so.
Well, what do you... sorry, you cut out there. I couldn't even hear you. But you said I was a xenophobe. You said I was a racist. No, I'm from Latin America. My family came here when I was very little. And I'll tell you right now that I don't have a problem with immigration as long as it's legal. I just think we need to know who is coming into our country, who is here right now. And I don't see how it is our obligation as Americans that our taxes need to go towards everybody else but us. And that's definitely what's happening right now.
It's not.
The country is going towards these programs. They're supporting these people that are coming over who are in the country illegally. You're saying, oh, they don't commit crimes. Their presence in the country is a crime. And then there's
Their presence in their country is
quandary
actually a
about all of this.
civil infraction. But
There's the moral quandary about this, which you still didn't address. And it was one of the first things that I talked about. Is when we said about, oh, well, they're taking the jobs that Americans don't want to do. Americans don't really want to be farmers or anything. Like I said, Americans don't want to do backbreaking labor for shit pay and no medical benefits, right? That's the issue. But they have no problem working on offshore oil rigs or being firefighters or being
sir,
steel
you're
workers
the
or
only one that's made that
Wait,
claim. You're
but
making a
you're
claim
advocating-
and then you're arguing your
you're
own claim. Sir,
advocating
I
take
never
advantage of
said,
people's
I never
poverty
said, sir,
to use them for cheap
sir,
labor.
I never said that Americans don't want to work. You are literally
You
making,
did say that.
this
You
is what you're
did
doing.
say it.
No,
we can rewind the tape. You said, well, they don't really want to be farmers.
Gladly.
You did say that.
Yeah, this is what literally just
Okay, you
happened.
get the
You're saying, sir, you're saying, hey, you're saying that Americans don't want to work, and then you're arguing your own point. It's like you came up here with this
How
pre-decided,
did I
like,
argue my own point?
because I
pointed out
never
your
made that
hypocrisy.
fucking point,
You're
ding
saying we
dong.
need to
That's
do
what
this
I
for all
said.
these people.
All right, sir.
We need to
Well,
help out these
honestly,
people
you
while
are
taking advantage
literally
of their
a waste
poverty.
of time and space and breath and
That's the
oxygen
moral
on this
quandary.
planet, and I'm tired of talking to you, okay?
Okay, sweetheart. Have a nice day.
I hope you have a horrible day. I hope you stub your toe twice.
I'm having a
You are literally a waste of time and space. Anyways, I'm gonna put this study up real quick though. Yeah, undocumented study says undocumented immigrants paid almost $100 billion in taxes. It's crazy. But they're draining our system, guys. They're draining our system. They're draining our system, guys. They took our jobs. They took our jobs. Twist Tiny, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said it's hard to come to grips with the fact that my country has been handcuffed. Oh, I already read this one. Listen to yourself. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Sam says, host is an asswipe. That's fine. Thanks for the $5. I appreciate that. Sam also said, read a history book. I've read many. I've even read some without I've read most of them without pictures. You should try that every once in a while. Sam just loves me. Sam's my biggest fan right now. Thanks, Sam. I really appreciate that. Listen to yourself said, fundamental flawed belief. It is not left or right or it's greed, power versus underdogs. It always has been this way in history. I agree with that to a certain point. I do agree with that to a certain point. Patrick said on Mars you would be an illegal alien. I really appreciate that. Warsaw said let bro talk. Bro was saying whatever. I was glad with hearing him talk. He just needed to stay on topic, and he couldn't figure out a way to do that. So that's all I was annoyed by. Carl said, oops, sorry, 1.7 million. Oh yeah, sorry, that was the wrong one. That's anyway. KR says we pay for ICE to kidnap kids for Trump's new island. Ouch. Oh my God, I'm laughing, but at the same point, kind of sad. Kind of sad. Warsaw, I want them gone. What the fuck? Exactly. That's all it really comes down to, dude. They just want them gone. It just wants them done. And Maga, it says Maga loves pedos, orange corpse who was yeah, I can't even pronounce that word.
Insane.
I don't even know that fucking word. So I literally don't know what that word is. I've never heard that word in my life. I don't even believe that's a word. I don't even believe that's a word. Solipsis. That's not a word. Am I stupid? What is that word? Oh my God, it's a word. Hold on. Shit. That's a whole word. Holy shit. That's a whole solipsistic. I've never heard that word in my entire fucking life. I've never heard that word in my entire life. If I didn't just Google it, I would not even believe right now that that was a word. There's some other people in the chat that didn't know this word either. So okay, so I'm not like the only one here, okay? A belief that one's own mind is the only thing that truly exists or can be known with certainty. It can also be referred to as an attitude or behavior characterized by extreme self-centeredness and a lack of empathy for others. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. Sid, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Someone said, bet Ari knows the word. I bet she does too. She's much smarter than me. Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I definitely just got tripped the hell out because it's still light outside and I'm not used to being on this early. So I just got very confused. Guys like walked over and I saw light coming in from outside and I was like, oh my goodness. Anyways. I might just call it an evening. What time is it? Like 7? I think I'm going to call it an evening. I think I'm going to be done for the evening. If you guys get lucky and I get a few apple juices in me, I might do a late night live. We'll see. I might get a late night live in if it was some fun. If not, I will be on very early tomorrow because the Chargers preseason game starts at 3 my time. So I'll be on like noon central. But you might see a late night Pauly tonight. Maybe. Can't promise anything, but might be here. If not, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, do all the fun stuff. Join the Discord. Join the Discord if you don't already. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Bye. Thanks all my new Twitch friends too, if you guys are still here. All my new Twitch subs and followers. Oh my goodness, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm so happy that... Sorry, I got a straight shot of Twitch because that's freaking awesome. Really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. Bye.